Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to the SubCast. Alrighty then, we have one person watching. It's really fantastic. 0 people watching. So I'm completely by myself here. I'm just fucking around. There's a whole 2 people watching. I have over 500 messages on Twitter. I have over 500 messages on Twitter. I bought about 25 new books I'd like to go over with you guys. And if you start chatting in the chat room, it always makes for a fun time for everybody else in there. Also, if you press the little like button and the share button, more people will come. And if you share this group on Twitter and Facebook and Discord and Live Link and Twitch, that would be really appreciated. If I can get like a whole 5 viewers, then I'm gonna start here. Whenever I take a bong rip, more people tend to come. So I'm gonna take a bong rip. Good morning, everyone. It's almost 11 o'clock here in California. I'm gonna take a bong rip here and magically make a few more people appear because there's only about 2 people here watching. Gotta have more than 5 people watching all these epic books that I'm gonna be revealing here. Got a whole bunch of new books here. Don't even want to see my new books. I see how it is, everyone. You don't even want to see my new books. Okay, cool. Thanks a lot, everyone. Really appreciate it. Owie, wowie. 3 viewers is 2 more until I can start doing some books. Actually, I want to read a little poem to you. One of my buddies, one of my online buddies, THC Anthony. He just sent me this poem. I'm gonna read it for you. I never read it yet, so 4 viewers. Once we get to 5 to 10 viewers, then then I can go over all these books that I have next to me. I got all these books. I got all these books that I want to go over with you guys. Really good books. So here's the poem by Khalil Gibran. It's called On Children. Your children are not your children. They are the sons of daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backwards, nor tarries with yesterday. You are the bows from which your children, you are the bows from which your children as living arrows are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and he bends you with his might, that his arrows may go swift and far. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness, for even as he loves the arrow that flies, so he loves also the bow that is stable. For he loves the arrow that flies, his son or daughter. So he loves also the bow that is stable, which is his own life. Oh my gosh, Anthony, my dad brainwashed. It's like not only is thank you to the 5 viewers watching. Not only do we have society, organized, unbelievably organized society that is just rampantly brainwashing us, indoctrinating us nonstop. We think that our parents are like not guilty. Our parents are not. Our parents are as guilty as society. Our parents are society. I mean, technically, we are society too. I mean, you could take yourself out of society. People don't believe that you can. People believe that living among society and living in society and living among society means that you're living in society. Just because you live literally in the society doesn't mean that you're living in the society. Like there's people that reject society 100% and they're not involved in it. And other people are like, yes you are. You do lectures, you go on stage, you post on YouTube and Facebook. Well, that's just something that happens. That's like waking up every morning. It's interesting. So we got 5 people watching. Cool, cool, cool. Who's here? What's up, Katie? What'd you guys do last night? What did you and Matt end up doing? Did you guys go onto the strip? Whenever I see it out there. Hold on a sec. I invited you, Katie. It's up to you if you want to come. If you're just chilling, lounging out, don't feel inclined to come over and talk. I just throw the invite out. All right, cool. I'm gonna go over.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm a little tired, but I'm all right.
Can you sit tight? I'm gonna go grab a tea and I'll sit here and shoot the shit with you till we head out for the day.
Yeah.
Hang on a sec.
There's nothing better than getting told to hang on a second. Can you talk? Could you talk without me? Nope, couldn't do it. I'm gonna take another bong rip. Oh, nothing makes me sadder than the man who lost his bladder on the airplane. So take another bong rip. Let's see what kind of books Katie likes. Is Math a reader? Is Katie a reader? What do you guys think? You think Katie reads books?
I used to read all the time. I guess I've become busy, which is not really an excuse because you should never get too busy to the point where you're not shaping your mind. But I used to read a lot of like esoteric, like self-help books. There's a book called Slowing Down to the Speed of Love, which I read recently. And it's all about perception and being in the moment and connecting with people by seeing them for who they really are. And there's this beautiful analogy in this book that I was just like, oh, that fucking explains it. When we look at someone, we're seeing them through our filter of perception, and that we can compare to, let's say, a fish tank. Now, at the bottom of the fish tank are all kinds of rocks and particles and sediments. And when you begin to have a conversation with someone where you're not exactly seeing eye to eye, you start to shake up that fish tank and the sediment begins to rise to the surface. And then your perception is cloudy. You can't see them. They can't see you. And it's because you're bringing up shit from the past, shit from the future, and not able to actually be in the present moment and connect. So Slowing Down to the Speed of Love, super cool book on perception and being in the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Most people don't listen to each other at all. And I was listening last night after I talked to you guys to the little talk that I was giving, lecture thing that I usually put myself to sleep to, and he was saying to the people surrounding him, especially to this one person, he's like, "You're not listening." He's like, "You don't have any reference point in you." He goes, he's like, "What do you want?" He's like, "What do you want?" He's like, "What are you searching for?" And he's like, until you figure that out, he's like, I have to be clear. He goes, otherwise it's just meaningless.
Exactly.
And
people are always more concerned about what they're going to say next as opposed to practicing active listening. And it's funny because that's another thing in this book I was reading was like, what is active listening? And sometimes you say to yourself, all right, I'm going to practice active listening. So I'm going to quiet my mind. And then as soon as you go to do that, you're like, oh, wow. So I just missed the first 30 seconds to a minute of what this person was saying because I was all focused on, active listening. But the body and the mind kind of, they kick in. You start to quiet your mind and you realize that it's just about connecting with someone, not necessarily making a point. The point will be made once the connection is made.
I heard that.
God bless. What kind of bud do you have? Do you do sativa, hybrids? What do you do?
I like sativa and indica and hybrids. I don't care as long as
I like
it's good.
the hybrid too because I have ADD, so that's perfect for me because it still keeps me like awake and alert, and then I can kind of like calm down from the anxiety of the fucking New World Order and all that.
I guess that would be an attempt to self-medicate and self-heal.
You know what?
Just
fucking A. I don't think it's an attempt. Like that's it. Because look at that. Like you were just saying with society. If you were smoking every single day, someone who's not familiar with the healing nature of that plant, and THC, Anthony will slap them with the fucking knowledge right before they get a chance to talk. Somebody who's not familiar with the healing nature of that plant will look at you and say to you, you know what? You're a drug addict. You're a chronic user. But if you were to say, well, I have a serious debilitating anxiety condition, and my doctor recommends that I stay on lithium, and I need to be on lithium every single day. And then other people will say, oh, well, that's fine, because it's a social construct, it's socially acceptable. That shit is garbage. Hang on, Math is yelling at me. Apparently we gotta go because we gotta start the day, but I'll stay in the chat.
Okay, cool. Yeah, have a good day, you guys. Bye-bye.
All right, we'll talk later. Bye.
Let's see here. Yeah, it's very interesting. It's funny because when I'm talking to Katie last night and Math, and they're next to each other, and when I have math on, of course I'm going to let him. I'm going to shut up because I do most of the talking on my own Hangout. So when I have math on, or anyone who has really interesting points of view, I'm gonna let them talk more or control things, the flow of the convo more, especially if they just want to rant and go off. I don't care. Speak as long as you want. I speak for fucking hours sometimes. Don't shut up. So, but it was interesting because she's like math like stop talking. He's trying to say something, and it's funny because like those are the social cues that math was actually talking about. And it's like, man, all friends and family and roommates and society, they just don't. People just don't give a shit about social cues. They'll completely ignore it for their own motives and agendas. And that's just interesting. It's very it's fucking crazy psychological. See, there's always some sort of motive. Like even when people like me who like tell you their motives and their agendas and show you their transparency, um, there's still other subconscious motives. Um, like your need for your spiritual quest, your need for enlightenment, and you want to gain spiritual levels. You want to go up the ladder. Um, it's the same as the material search. Like people are like spiritualists are like, oh, the material search is so boring, and sex and um, fucking what else is there? The material search, sex, money, and um, like reputation, like building some sort of career. Like that's a material, like societal, egotistical construct that's imposed upon people. Like we're supposed to create some sort of legacy and try to not be forgotten. That shit's hilarious to me. Because I used to think about that, but like it's just ridiculous now. Like the concept of being forgotten, it's hilarious. It's funny. Like you can't be forgotten. Like I mean, it's all there. It's all forgotten. It's all gone. Nothing is permanent. So and it's all still there. So it's quite an interesting paradox. So let's see here. What's up, Daniel Mayer? KDO, she left. Rock Vibrations. Good evening. Oh, cool. You guys went to the art district, Katie, last night? Oh, no. She's going to get some Jueves Rancheros ingredients. I love that you have the map right above your bed. There's also the religious map, right? The square and stationary map right there. Hello? By Professor Orlando Ferguson. Yeah, it's interesting. Dan W. You want to join, Dan? Oh, KDO, I have to connect you with Peaches. I will send Peaches a. Oh, and KDO, I already talked to. I tried to get a ride to this other flat Earth chick that to the place that Mad Max is going on Monday, and she said she works um, from like 2 o'clock. I don't know. She works, so I have to. Hopefully, my Facebook account becomes unbanned today. I'm gonna check my Facebook sometime today, and hopefully I'm unbanned, and then I can post on Facebook It's interesting timing too. How I'm banned on Facebook right now, and so I can't ask people on Facebook, my 1,700 friends on there. Um, I need a ride to go see Mad Max, and that would be quite easy. And I'd say Math Powerland and KDO gave me $50 that I'll give to you for gas, and that would be quite the beautiful thing. I was just gonna give them the $50 for the gas and food, and that would be perfect. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna be working on that, Katie, for the rest of today and tomorrow. So today is Saturday, and so that means I still have Sunday, and so I got today and tomorrow. I got 2 days to figure that out. I'm gonna try to get out there. What's up, Madam Medusa? Rock's real name is Leslie, I believe, I think, right? All right, it's time to go over some books. I got a lot of new books here. I got 7 people watching. I'd like to have over 10 people watching for the books, but um, yeah, let's go over some books. I got these new books. They're pretty fucking sick. Mad Mike. Oh, that'd be great. KDO. That would be great. Um, if you can post something on your Facebook or in the League of Extraordinary Flat Earthers on Facebook, or just on your personal page, and say, "Hey, I got this buddy Dan Falk in Southern California in San Diego, and we got $50 with your name on it if you take me to the fucking middle of the damn desert." Sounds safe with all these professional crew around and shit. And probably police and ambulance. And there's gonna be a lot of people there. IPS will be there. I'll get this. I'll get to say hi to IPS. So that'll be fun. And if you can do that for me, Katie and Matt, that'd be awesome. Oh, yeah, you're right. YouTube, the volcano vape. That shit's $600. I'm sure I can find one for like 300. Yeah, if you can like and share this, that'd be great. Okay, cool. 10 people watching. Now I'm really gonna do this. Now check out all these new books I got. So this is so give me some thumbs up, please. There's 5 likes, 10 people watching. Now this is I'm gonna start going over these books now. I got a lot of epic books here. You guys know how I like to go shopping, and it's interesting. This whole entire year that I've been here, um, the books at the library have been $1, or I mean, some of them are $5 and $10 and $15 and $25, but majority, I'd say like 90% of the books are $1, and and um, and they're raising the prices now. So all we were sitting in line because I'm like a regular there, and I see people every month that I go there, and they're like they're raising the prices on the books, and I'm like uh, I'm like boycott the library. There's like children around. Okay, so cool. Yeah, I took a trip to the library, Rock. Check out this. Check out my haul, Rock. Here, check this out. Hey. Oh. Look at these bad boys. 2 giant bags worth. Hey! And they're full to the brim. And a lovely, sweet old lady. There's tons of old ladies that work there, and I talk to them all. They're all so sweet and nice. And what are they? I brought my own bags, but they're plastic bags. And she's like, the old lady's like, oh, you want these bags? And she gave me like those like bags that are like $5 at the store. They're like fabric. She traded me 2 fabric bags for 2 plastic bags. I was like, oh, I'll give you these 2 plastic bags. That was very nice of her. All right, cool. Check this out. All right. So these are the books that I got. I got the atom, the atom in the history of human thought. You know, this is going to be a bunch of garbage. The atom in the history of human thought. The story of the atomic theory of matter lends itself better than almost any other historical journey to a grand panoramic approach to the history of scientific ideas. It is an eminently readable and enjoyable book, which affords prestigious insights into one of the most persisting scientific problems. Oh, God. Oxford University. Oh, thank you, Oxford University. Hey, Dan, how'd you get them there book smarts? How'd you get them there book smarts, Dan? You read them books? You take those college courses online? Did you take college courses online at Princeton and Stanford? Yale, Harvard. You know they have free online courses, right, guys? You might want to go check that stuff out. Make yourself a little bit more academically aware. So let's see here. But at the same time, they tell me to go back to school, go read a physics book. Guy, lady, woman. I already have read many physics books. if if all scientific knowledge were lost in a cataclysm, what single statement would preserve the most information for the next generations of creatures? How could we best pass on our understanding of the world? I might propose all things are made of atoms, little particles that move around in perpetual motion, attracting each other when they are a little distant apart, but repelling on being squeezed into one another. In that one sentence, you will see there is an enormous amount of information about the world, if just a little imagination and thinking are applied. Richard P. Feynman. Richard P. Feynman. I'm Richard P. Feynman. Hey, Richard, what's a magnet? Well, what do you mean? What's a magnet? How does it work? Well, I would rather have answers that can't be questioned. Or sorry, I would rather have questions that can't be answered than answers that can't be questioned. Or questions that yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I'm really glad I got this book. I almost skipped on it. Now, how much is this thing? See, it says it's $11 on the back. But yeah, I'm very happy I got this. I'm sure you've heard of Seth. That's there's a the 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 woman known as Jane Roberts. She's one of the first channelers. You know those channeler people, and she channeled an entity known as Seth. Got to do your research, folks. And I'm so happy I got this book. I almost skipped on it. I passed on it like 3 times, and it was still there when I went to go check. And the nature of personal reality. The nature of personal reality. That's going to be a good one. And scientific, practical techniques for solving everyday problems and enriching the life you know. Yeah. Yeah, I like this. This has changed a lot of people's lives. A lot of people say that she's evil. She was channeling demons. This is the gentle art of verbal self-defense. The gentle art of verbal self-defense. Most of us are under verbal attack every day and don't often realize it. Well, I do. In this book, you'll learn the skills you need to respond to all types of verbal attack. Specific strategies for your defense include 12 rules of clear, effective interaction, recognition of 5 verbal modes, the placator, the blamer, the distractor, the computer, and the leveler. Tone of voice. Make yours bolder and more assertive. Alternative scripts. Alternative scripts. Better approaches to common confrontation. Body language. How it supports what you say. And in special chapters directed to both men and women, the author explains how women have long been the verbal victims of men and what both sexes can do to break this destructive pattern. It's going to be a good one. The journey of self-discovery. I'm not really, I'm very interested in Vedic literature and different types of swamis and whatnot. But I've never heard of this guy, Swami Prabhupada. I've never heard of that guy. It's just a really, the art on the book is really nice. Now, of course, I've heard of Baba. My Baba and I. This is a Sai Baba. It's a legendary Eastern mystic, philosopher, and yogi. Realize the heaven within you, and all at once all desires are fulfilled. All misery and suffering is put an end to. Feel yourselves above the body and its environments, above the mind and its motives. Interesting how it said motives. Above the thoughts of success or fear. The great cause of suffering in the world is that people do not look within. They rely on outside forces. A handbook to higher consciousness. I have no idea who wrote this. Oh, Ken Keyes Jr. Oh shit. There's almost 1 million copies of this. A conscious person's guide to relationships. Yeah, cool. Why not? The dynamic laws of healing. Nothing wrong with some healing, some spiritual healing. Or some sexual healing. Sexual healing. Got another Sai Baba book, The Holy Man, when he was younger. The Holy Man. Oh, okay. So the book is called The Holy Man and the Psychiatrist. Makes sense. The Holy Man and the Psychiatrist. It's a cool picture on the back. Copyright 1975. The the Tibetan Book of the Dead. The Tibetan Book of the Dead. First published in 1927. Oh, nice. This is another Oxford University. Damn. Got some pretty esoteric shit in here. Oh, shit. The preface was written in San Diego. That's where I am. Easter, 1948. Pretty fucking interesting. Damn, this copyright is 1960. Jeez. I got a nice fucking Tibetan Book of the Dead here. William S. Burroughs. Naked Lunch. One of my authors that I always have to buy his books. Whenever I see a Burroughs book, I'm going to get it. A masterpiece. A Cry from Hell. A brutal, terrifying, and savagely funny book that swings between uncontrolled hallucination and fierce, exact satire. Sounds awesome. Yeah. Hearts on Fire. I don't even remember buying this one, but it says the Tao of Meditation, so I'm sure I saw that and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna buy it. You got Deepak Chopra, Wayne Dyer, and Marianne Williamson, who are giving credence to the book. Hell yeah. The birth of quantum psychology. So this motherfucker must have stole this from fucking Robert Anton Wilson. Yeah, this San Diego too. Obviously, I'm in San Diego. Makes sense. San Diego's got some fucking good ass books. See, this copyright is 1984. Robert Anton Wilson was talking about quantum psychology. Wait, what? Robert Anton Wilson was talking about quantum psychology a long time ago. Wow. It's going to be a good book. The Secrets of Deciding Wisely. The Secrets of Deciding Wisely. How our choices change our lives. Oh, I didn't know that. Choices change lives? 8 principles that can change your life. I don't know what the hell this is about, but it's an old ass book. And the artwork got me. It says, I like how old it is, and it says The Way of the Pilgrim. Oh, wow. Apparently this author inspired Dostoevsky. Damn. I'm glad I got this book. The Way of the Pilgrim. I want to see how old this book is. Whoa. Carl Jung, the famous psychiatrist. I have treated many hundreds of patients. Among those over 35, there has not been one whose problem in the last resort was not that of finding a religious outlook on life. So, wait. Okay, yeah. So, that's funny. You become, Jung is basically saying that people become religious as a last resort. Now, what's the copyright of this fucking book? Because this shit looks old. 1954. Wait, never mind. First published in 1930. Holy shit. 1930, that's badass. I don't know why, but I think I already have this book. Jeez. Alright. That was the first half. Now on to the second half. On to the second half. And then let me read your comments because I like you guys. Wait, you got all these books for $1 each? Of course, Katie. That's how I roll. Yeah, I love free books. I'm actually going to go back there later today. It, it's open from 9:30 to 3 o'clock. I went around like 3 o'clock last week, but it closes at 3 o'clock. So I just donated my time, stayed there, and helped package everything up, which took like a half hour, maybe even more. And I got a couple of free books out of it. It's not why I did it, but it's cool. It's cool as heck. Yeah, it was really nice of her, Katie. Eco-friendly bags. Yeah, Madame Medusa. Yeah, my room is. There's actually a guy who was commentating on my YouTube video. He's like, let me see your books. He's like, you say you read a lot. Let me see your books. He was all in capitals. I'm like, dude, I have videos that I show you like my books. I have like a lot, and I make these videos too. I have a bookshelf full of easily over $1,000 worth of books right there. I have 3 boxes full of books. This what I'm speaking to you on this computer is stationed on top of 3 full boxes of books. There's a giant pile of books right there on the floor, and there's another bookshelf full of well over $1,000 of books there. And there's also 2 more boxes over there. Yeah, I have a shit ton of books. I don't. I like. I love books. Yeah, Katie, the chemtrails are fucking terrible today. On the walk, I noticed that. I was like, sheesh, chemtrails are fucking terrible today. Good call, Katie. Yeah. I don't know. What rumors were you talking about? What rumors, Madame Medusa? Rumors around him constantly. I don't know what that means. What rumors? Oh, the creature from Jackal Island. I'm pretty sure I have that book. I'm pretty sure I have a first edition. What's the worst book you have, Dan? I don't know, man. I really don't pay attention to those too much. The worst book I have is probably, I don't know, like a Carl Sagan book or Stephen Hawking or I don't know. There's a lot of college textbooks that I have too that are fucking awful. This next haul is way better than the first one, I think. At least it seems better. It seems more expensive too. Actually, I don't know. I mean, this is a good book haul. All right, we got. If you know anything about comedy, if you know anything about comedy, you should probably know who. You should know who David Cross is. This guy. Hardcover bought autobiography. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna read this one. Hardcover. Classic. Remember this? The Oxford Companion to English Literature. Oh, this is gonna be good. Check this out. Look at this. The Illustrated World History. Look at that. Look how old it is. Oh, it's so old. So old and big, and it's so nice. Look at that. Nice little sailor ship. Oh, the Illustrated World History, huh? Oh, that's gonna be a good one. Oh yeah. What the fuck out of here, dude? This shit's copyrighted 1927. Dude, this shit's gonna be so good. To know nothing of the past, to know nothing of the past, said an ancient philosopher, is to understand little of the present and to have no conception of the future. Oh, Bebe. Jesus. My goodness. Yeah, this is a really detailed book. It stinks of old age. I smell I love. My goodness. That is an old one. Got these three. Obviously, a set. Lucretius. Lucretius on the nature of things. On the nature of things. Aristotle on man, in the universe. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. I want to see when these are copyrighted. 1945. 1946. 1943. Damn. The Art of Thinking. The Art of Thinking. Very old ass book. I love to see copyright. Copyright 1928. Woo! Dude, these people were 1,000 times smarter than us. You realize that? Like the people in 1900, 1927, they were 1,000 times smarter than us. It's hilarious. People think that we're smarter now than we were back then because we have better technology. Oh, that's fucking hilarious. I have a phone. You're talking to me through a computer on Twitter. Okay? You have a phone. We have airplanes and cars and trains. Okay? We're smarter now than we were back then. Okay? Technology. How to become a working actor. Selecting an agent, never was my deal. You got to get an agent, Dan. You got to get an agent. Got to find a manager. If I did, that would make things a lot easier, but I'd have to pay him, and I don't want to pay someone when I'm not getting paid too much now. Let's see. Betty Bethard's Sex and Psychic Energy. And finally, the last two books. Your Sacred Self, Making the Decision to Be Free. Wayne Dyer. And honestly, this book is probably the book that I'm most interested in. This last book here. It says it's a very, very old book. Has a triangle on the seam or on the spine. And I was like, ooh, old book with a triangle on it. Caught my eye. And it says Hatha Yoga instead of like Kriya Yoga or other types of yoga. I've heard of this. This is a Hatha Yoga, or the yogi philosophy of physical well-being. And I was like, well, that's and I heard of this. I heard of this yogi, Yogi Rahamana Chakabrahma. Oh wow! Whoa, this is old. Holy dick liquor. Copyright 1904. See? I got a spider sense. I can just look at a book and know this is. I told you this was the book I'm most interested in. And it looked old. 1904 by the Yogi Publication Society. Fucking incredible. Dude, this is gonna be incredible. I'm actually gonna stop reading a few books that I'm currently reading, and then I'm gonna start reading this one. It does say Hollywood, California. It says page 49 right here. So I'm just gonna, I want to go to page 49. Ooh. Page 49. Damn. Well, looks like I'm gonna have to get in shape because I am looking like a pear. I'm looking like the pear ball Earth. I gotta get rid of my love handles and go for a run, which I'm actually gonna do very soon. Yeah, man. Wow. I knew this book was gonna be a good one. Oh. All right. That's so cool. What do you guys think of my what do you guys think of my new haul I got? You guys like my new book haul? I was thinking about going over my Twitter messages live with you guys. My 7-year-old loves the review of the books. Well, your 7-year-old is a legend. Dan W says I'm heavier than P Mars, I bet. Let's see here. Nice title. Have you heard of None Dare Call It a Conspiracy? Yes, I have. WWE dumbed me down. Dan W. I grew up watching, like, some of my first memories are WWF, and I grew up watching WWE. I stopped watching for like 4 years, 5 years, but over the past when I went to go live in Colorado, I was living with my grandma for 6 months or a year, and about yeah somewhere in between that, and yeah, we watched Monday Night Raw and SmackDown together. Yeah, so she got me back into wrestling because she loved wrestling too, and so I loved watching wrestling with my grandma, talking shit, smoking a joint, chilling with my grandma. She didn't smoke, but she didn't give a shit that I smoked. I'm not gonna fucking lie to my. I mean, I was respectful. I'm not. I would go like outside and blow the smoke in the back door and stuff. Admits to being an actor. Shill. Casper the Friendly Ghost. No, I admit to reading a book teaching you how to get in the business better. The industry, if you know anything about it. What an idiot. Oh, really? Here in England, it was reported years back Sai Baba had allegations of being a pedophile. Jesus, tap dancing Christ. That's pretty fucked up. I'll have to look into that, Madame Medusa. Thanks for the heads up. But there's a lot of rumors that accumulate around those spiritual, quote unquote, spiritual dudes. I don't really, I run like a little bit around the block. I take walks with Aldo, and then I walk up the mountain. And I play basketball, so that's running too. CTS. Of course I remember ravishing Rick Rude. I mean, I remember Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Jimmy Superfly Snuka, Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant. I was watching it back then. Jake the Snake. Okay, I'll go over my tweets live. That'll be pretty funny. I love, I'm a huge Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, and Zaza Pachulia. I'm a huge basketball fan, as you know, Daniel Mora. So I follow greatness. So I know that Steph Curry and Kevin Durant and are the best players in the NBA. And they're on the same team. And that's why they're the champions. Klay Thompson's the best shooting guard in the NBA. Draymond Green is arguably the best power forward in the NBA. So their team is stacked beyond belief, and they have an incredible bench. Yeah, I love Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. Do I remember the Bushwhackers? Dude, I remember them all. Bushwhackers, dude. Fucking Nation of Domination. Hurricane and Earthquake. Bam Bam Bigelow. Of course I remember all that shit. So cool, yeah, dude. THC. I'm glad. Tell me next time your son or your daughter is 7-year-old son, I believe you said. I will next time. I mean, I was pretty reserved. I didn't really swear. I don't think I swore at all. But yeah, let me know next time. So just in case I go on a tirade in between the books. Oh, the hurricane! That hurricane. Yeah, of course. That the small the cruiserweight hurricane. He's like, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I'm actually gonna go for a hike today. Get some sun. Get my fat ass off the couch, off the bed here. Oh, Brett the Hitman. How are you freaking kidding me? Best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. So, oh yeah, you're right. Houston is looking very good this year. Houston is definitely the dark horse in the West, Dan Mora. They're the dark horse in the West. You can't forget about the Spurs, bro. Spurs are one of the best teams in the West, and they've been without their best player. Spurs have been one of the best teams in the West for the past 15 years, and they are there's and this year Paul Gasol's having a reemergence year. He's having a great year. LaMarcus Aldridge is having a good year. That team is solid, and they're without their best player, former Finals MVP and Defensive Player of the Year, and the second best shooting forward. Sorry, small forward in the NBA, Kawhi Leonard. Are you kidding me? San Antonio again will take out Houston, and again the Warriors will take out San Antonio. But it could be Houston versus Houston versus the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. But I got to see how it shapes out the next week, and I'm gonna do some. I'll do some more Lakers live feeds. Oh my God, Miami fans are so fucking. You know how dumb Miami Heat fans are, Daniel Mora. God, those Miami Heat fans are fucking. No offense to you, dude. I'm saying that because you know how dumb Miami Heat fans are. Like their crowd is just terrible. It's their arena's barely ever full. They're just a bunch of fucking bandwagon fans, and they're butthurt LeBron James fans. It's hilarious. Oh, the British Bulldog. Are you kidding me? Love the British Bulldog. Lex Luger. What's up, Wes? So you guys got any other questions? Yeah, Greg Popovich is the best coach in the NBA, easily. So you guys got any questions? We got 11 people watching. Cool. Thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna take a bong rip. I'll probably read some of. Wow, I almost got a book from the 1800s for $1. That's fucking awesome. Like that book probably. I bet you if I look up that book online, it'll probably cost a lot. I want to see how much that book costs. No, that's when it really gets interesting. If you can buy a $1 book, that's like $100. See how much this bitch costs. Because that's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in fucking. Come on, hurry up. My computer's going slow, sorry. Oh, it's because I have the Twitter messages up. Okay. I want to see how much this book costs, though. Guys, guess in the chat room how much this book costs from 1904 or 07 or something. It's this book right here. Hatha Yoga. This is going to be interesting. Computer's taking forever. Sorry, I have a lot of messages on Twitter, and that slows down. And I have the Twitter messages up, so that slows down my computer right now. So it's taking longer than it normally would to load simply Google. It's things like, there you go. Come on. Come on. Google is loaded. I'm staring at the start page, but it's not letting me. There we go. Let's see how much this book. How much do you think this? How much do you think this book costs, guys? Oh, still waiting. All right, here goes. Hatha Yoga. Come on. There we go. Hatha Yoga. The Yogi philosophy. Oh, nice. All right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah, this book's like $35. That's what I love. That's why I love collecting books. All these books I get for $1. I easily I'm surrounded by thousands of dollars worth of books. Like maybe close to $5,000 worth of books. Now I have a first edition, so maybe the first edition is worth more. First edition. Yeah, this book's like $40 easily. Got 4 stars out of 5. That's good. That's why I love this shit. It's so cool. I just get a feeling. I got a feeling. Oh shit, Madame Medusa, you're right. I didn't. No, you just reminded me. I didn't check the free book section today. Um, Cleveland is so pathetic. $50. You were really close, Dan. Good guess. You were only like $10 off. I'm a Heat fan who still loves LeBron. Got to get a buyer though. That's how much it's worth. How much someone's willing to pay. Exactly, Dan. So, Dan, are you going to have anyone on your panel today? No one seems to want to come on. I'm about to go for a fucking run. So pissed off. I got to get my wallet back. I can't go fucking. I can't go see Mad Mike if I don't have my fucking wallet. And this girl and her boyfriend. I left her. This woman and her boyfriend. I left my wallet in their freaking truck, and she told me she was gonna bring it over yesterday, and she told me she was gonna bring it over today, this morning. Oh, it's so annoying. So I'm gonna have to wait till either later tonight to get my wallet back or fucking tomorrow. I gotta check Facebook to see if I'm fucking banned still. See if I'm banned still off Facebook. I don't even know my fucking password anymore, so god damn it. So it says we we removed something you posted. It looks like something you posted doesn't follow our community standards. We remove posts that attack people based on their race, ethnicity, national origin, religious affiliation, sexual orientation, gender, or disability. And I said, funny how these Christian flat earthers turn into vulgar demons when you challenge their bullshit. How Christ-like of you. Laugh out loud. Fucking fake religious pieces of shit. That was pretty funny. No wonder I got banned for a week. God damn it! It says you're temporarily blocked from posting still. Son of a gun. Hold your horses, Wes. Let me take a bong rip. New video I just found. That'd be awesome if Math and Katie can get someone in Southern California to pick me up and go check out Mad Mike in the desert, blow himself off on Monday. Holy shit, it's already December 2nd, man. That's nuts. Alright, let's check this shit out. I am the hunter of invisible game. Blow himself off. You like that one, Dan? Wesley, have you shared the link yet? If you haven't shared the link yet, you don't get the you don't get the link. Wesley, you didn't even see any of the books that I brought in. Yeah, I got it to you. I really don't. I don't roll blunts too often. No, not really. I roll like 1 or 2 blunts a year. I rolled a joint the other day. I rolled a couple of joints the other day. Smoked a couple of joints the other day. But majority I'll just take bong rips because you just take 1 bong rip and you're high for a fucking hour and a half. Got to spread the high out. You smoke weed? Gross. I stick with alcohol. here comes the female version of, or the male version of Candy here, ruffles and sprinkles and stones. What are you playing with over there?
Who, me? I just plugged in my headset.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. No, I did not see what type of books you brought to the table. No.
Missed it all. Missed all my beautiful, glorious books.
I don't know what's going on with my notifications, but I'm not hearing any of them.
What do you think the oldest book I picked up was? What do you think?
1902.
Hey, you're really close. You must have heard the ending part.
Yeah, I did. It was 19 something or another.
Pretty damn old though, right?
Yeah, no fooling. And you got it for like $35. Way to go, dude.
No, I got it for $1.
$1? Are you serious? Wow.
Yeah, it's like $40.
It's a freaking antique, and they're selling them for $1. Shit.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. There's a lot of old ladies there. I think honestly they have so many books so they have to get rid of them.
Oh, I see. Yeah. And
Yep.
refresh my memory. What was it? What was the book about?
Oh, it was just about philosophies of meditation and yoga.
Oh, yoga. Yeah, that's it.
Those fools take that shit seriously.
So the crazy man is going to go shoot himself up on Monday, huh?
Yeah, apparently, and I'm gonna try to make it there. Come on, man, stop that! What is all that? I hate that noises.
I don't know what the hell that was. Hang on, let me unplug this.
It's just like,
yeah, my mic is really sensitive.
it just sounds like it's fucking scraping against something. It sounds awful.
Yeah, okay, now it's gone.
I thought yoga was invented in the 1970s.
I'm pretty sure yoga's been around for a really long time.
Yeah, that's the science of the West, or the science of the East.
Oh.
So the science of the East is yoga, and the science of the West is science.
Heck, Jesus probably knew about yoga. I mean, he was dressed for it for sure. Our yoga master coming right down there.
Yeah, I've read different stories that during Jesus' missing years, or Christ's missing years, that he traveled over to India to learn the yoga ways, the yogic ways.
Yeah, isn't that really weird? I mean, they go from the time he's born up to about the time of 12, and then you got nothing until he's like, what, 35?
31.
31? Yeah. It's like, what happened? What happened in them formative years?
Well, yeah, those are called the missing years. Of the missing years of Christ. And
it's like, you're not going to tell me that Mary and Joseph weren't getting down. I mean, come on. He probably had a slew of kids. Probably came from a pretty big family.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's where all the stories came. There's a lot. I've read stories that Jesus and the reason that Christ had to actually go. The reason why he went missing is because he had a bunch of kids with
Mary Magdalene.
Yeah, and that actually he went and hid her in like Ireland or England in those islands above Europe and those British Isle things, and so apparently there was like druids back then living there, and Christ went to go hide him and his children there, and then he fled to Egypt to go learn from Moses and learn the Egyptian magic, and then he went to India to learn the yogic magic and science meditations, and then he went up to I don't know, there's all different types of stories, man. I've studied Christ for, I know all his little different stories, and it's super interesting.
Yeah, they
Um,
are.
and then he went back actually, and when he came back, he was like 30, like I said, around 30 years old, and he performed his little miracles, and then he died when he was 33 years old supposedly, and that's that famous Masonic number, the 33 number.
Right, exactly.
He also performed 33 miracles, and there's 33 spine vertebrae in the spine. So it's all related to energy and yoga and.
You know what I found interesting, and this is kind of off the beaten path, but I don't know if anyone remembers or was like really into watching Xena,
I
but they
loved I loved Hercules and Xena.
then you know exactly what I'm talking about. They had a character on there who was kind of basically supposedly portraying Jesus. I don't know if you remember it or not.
Huh. I actually I I really I
Well,
have
you know,
I have to see it
because
again.
her sidekick was following him. I mean, and then she was preaching the preachings of him, and it was all too reminiscent of Jesus. And he was on the show for quite a while. It was probably like the last season or the season before the last. But I mean, he dressed, you know, like what we think of him in a long white robe and had the long hair and the beard, and that he actually ended up being, you know, having these powers and of healing and yada yada yada. And it was
See,
like, yeah.
did you ever have you heard of that? Jesus and his apostles were a bunch of it was a cult and a group of mushroom heads.
Yeah. No, I haven't heard that one.
So the reason why they saw that Jesus performed so many miracles in front of his apostles is because they were all tripping on mushrooms, and Jesus was the one giving them the mushrooms to them, and so that he was walking on water because guys were tripping sack, and he was healing them and pulling out food from nowhere. Nah, Jesus definitely just he definitely collected a lot of food and gave it to people, and those stories will spread into different stories.
Oh
I'll
yeah,
turn
definitely.
just bent a bucket over, and all the fish are coming out of there.
And there's you know, even the part about him walking on water. If you've ever watched the movie Merlin, where uh, there's this particular area where it floods, but it only floods like 2 inches of water. And when you see it happen, it looks like a gigantic freaking lake. And a person walking through it would have definitely, from off seers, would look like this person is walking on water.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I mean, the whole thing with Jesus, it's such a complex, convoluted story because it involves the stars and the sun and the moon and the constellations and how they interact with one another in the seasons.
Right.
And it's all combined. The sun is there's the God, which is the sun, like the sun. You ever hear of it? It's called sun, soul, and Helios, and that's what you call God. And then you have the Trinity, which is the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So the Father is God, which is the Son. The the Sun is Sirius, which is the star next to Orion's belt, which drops below the horizon for 3 days in December 21st, and then rises. So it dies, it goes away, and then it disappears for 3 days, and then it's resurrected on December 23rd, 24th, just in time for Christmas, which is Jesus' birthday. Perfect timing. And we're all going to see this. You're going to see it'll happen this year. It happens every goddamn year. and it's the story of Jesus. So the Holy Spirit is the moon, or just the moon and the ethers and everything else, the stars and everything else. So the Father is God, which is God, which is the Son, and then the stars, Sirius, which is Jesus, sacrifice, which symbolizes the sacrifice, darkness, and resurrection, and being crucified in the darkness, and then resurrecting 3 days later, and then the moon, which is, and that's the Holy Spirit. It's just a whole fucking story that people have really, really misinterpreted, and they really fucked it up.
Yeah, even his birth date. I mean, I don't know if anyone in the chat knows, but he was not born on the 25th.
No, not at all. All the shepherds, they called their sheep in, and the shepherds' time to they would never be. That whole thing's fucked up. I can't remember exactly how the shepherds and the warmth of the season. It's I can't remember what it was, but I actually heard rumors that Christ was born on 9/11, so that's why that whole thing happened.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so they're trying to like hide his birthday.
I can't remember the date that I heard, but something keeps telling me it was in January, but I could be wrong.
I heard September 11th, September 23rd, but
I heard the 23rd for sure, but I'm not sure what month.
But I bet you the chat room will fill us in. Even
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping somebody in there knows. I'm too vague on it, so I'm not going to proclaim anything.
That's Wesley. That's why I laugh at these supposed Christian people, because I know so much more about their supposed Christ than they do.
Right. I can't believe you got banned from frickin' Facebook. Shit.
Oh well, dude, I was born and raised I was raised a Catholic. So I was around nuns and priests growing up. Luckily, they didn't do anything to me.
Yeah, you and me both. No, I'm talking about Facebook. I'm surprised that you got. What happened on that? Why'd they ban you?
Because I was vulgar in the same sentence in a sentence where I was berating probably the second largest world religion.
Ah. I'm really getting sick and tired of all this censorship.
Yeah, it's fucking annoying.
So what else is on your table lately? Anything new?
Yeah, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm gonna book a flight. I'm gonna get the fuck out of this place and move.
Come to Minnesota.
Minnesota? Oh god, that's where my fucking one of my exes is. And
oh, okay. Well, maybe you don't want to do that.
Yeah, no. Who do we want to be in? Actually, shit. I think 2 of my exes are in fucking Minnesota. Jeez.
Yeah, but what town?
Oh man, that's interesting.
I mean, it's some small piss ass town in Minnesota. Or?
No, I'm getting a fuck. Oh, I don't know where the hell. Oh yeah, it's somewhere in Minnesota. Yeah, it's some fucking hipster place. I don't fucking know. You get that one right.
I was talking about coming to Minneapolis. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah. That's where they are.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Or somewhere close to that. I wouldn't if they're far away from the main city. That would surprise me. Yeah, I gotta book a ticket. And I gotta get all my books out of here, and I gotta talk to this chick that runs a library around in San Diego. I'm gonna see if I can I don't know. I want to learn how to get my shit and sell it and what licenses I need. So I'm gonna ask her everything I need to do to own my own place. And then I mean it would probably be better to have a bookshop on the West Coast, but Buffalo Buffalo is blowing up. It's in a huge economic surge, and so I'll bring I'll bring oh, he's gone. I'll bring everything back to
Sorry about that.
no, that's all right.
I was trying to find. I thought I could drop it down on my phone and look up something because I'm trying to get a hold of Authentic Intent. He just kind of like disappeared because he's here from Minneapolis, and I haven't heard anything from him for quite a while. But when you start something over at the federal office, yeah, they're going to start following your ass.
What's up, land, power, and math? Your microphone's loud again.
Mine? Well, that's weird.
Yeah, it's the same as before. Not weird.
It's fucking really weird because I don't have my headset on. Very weird.
Oh.
I don't know. It could be something in my phone is fucking up. Because I'm literally holding my phone in the same position in front of my face like I did earlier. So I don't know why it would be making noises. Oh, who knows? What I should do is get my ass up and turn my computer on and log in from there.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right. I'm gonna read off these Twitter notifications. I got well over 100. Could be 1,000. I don't know. Jesus. They're still talking about supernatural creatures and supernatural beings. Oh, it's hilarious. My Twitter page is a 24-hour, 24/7 Flat Earth quagmire. It's hilarious. I don't even have to say anything anymore. Oh my god, I can't. I'm too high for this shit. This is just pure fucking drama. Wow. I'm sorry, I'm not reading this garbage. I'm just gonna skim it. This is just too fucking dramatic. supernatural creatures and supernatural, the difference between a supernatural creature and a supernatural beings. Oh boy, that's a headache. Yeah, I'm not even gonna like, my Twitter feed has a life of its own. Like, me personally, I'm not even gonna step into this. I'm gonna let these people just duke it out. It's just, it's like that. Now here's the thing: if I'm merely semi-popular, I have, almost 1,000 followers on Twitter, almost 1,500 followers on or subscribers on YouTube, and almost 400 on my backup account, almost 500 on Instagram, 3,000 followers on Facebook. Now, shit has a. I'm not even gonna get into this. Shit has a life of its own. And choose my battles wisely. Good grief. But I really gotta get to. I gotta get to that fucking desert where Mad Mike is at, and I'm gonna record that shit myself. I'm actually gonna interview the interviewers. That's the whole reason I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna interview Mad Mike. I'm gonna interview Vice, and I'm gonna interview. Talk with IPS, and I'm gonna interview everyone's there. I'm gonna interview all the interviewers, and yeah. So that's that. Definitely not reading. Oh, this is that actor guy. Okay. Why don't you go over your Twitter messages live? Tesla's Apple. Hey, what's up? That's funny. Just retweeted you. Yeah, that's the thing. There is not a scientist on the planet that backs that point of view. Oh, it's so fucking funny. Apparently, you haven't met many scientists in your life. I'm on a plane. I can't complain. The fuck is this? This guy fucking blocked me. Oh, I'm following you. That's right. Vegan Warrior Live. Let's see what he's up to. Alex Jones, Mind Control 101. Issa Mahal, Flat Earth Court. The Threat of the Trickster and the Bowditch Behavior Sync. Oh, good God. What a shit show that is. Oh, jeez. Flat Earth, the people behind the imaginary curve. You got Pancho Pete going too. No wonder. No wonder. I'm gonna go fuck with the Issa Flat Earth Court real quick. Cipher some of his people over to mine.
to, or I guess it was last year or whatever, they wanted to have no white people for the day. And they wanted to kind of make all the white people not come to class for the day instead of all the black people not come to class. And this professor was against it because he's like, no, that's racism. Because what you guys were doing is voluntary, but telling white people they can't come to school, that's racist.
Yep.
And it turned into a huge fiasco. You can Google it, Google the everything.
Yeah. And this is happening all over the place. Honestly, the 4chan thing, where they put out this campaign, it was like 2-3 weeks ago, telling people to go around in their schools and put up just a piece of paper that says it's okay to be white. Okay? This triggered local media and a bunch of it. It only worked on like 30% of them, but it still worked. But they called it hate speech, where they freaked out and had these social justice warriors like safe spaces created, and it extracted from the wall of ideas, and it was intense.
Apparently,
it was
Cathexic's new hangout is Flat Earth Court.
And it was on 4chan site that they were going to do it.
Yeah.
Apparently, Cathexis' the new hangout place is on East's Flat Earth Court. That's cute. Is that Antonio on the people behind the imaginary turf? Let's go check out his it.
Not to patronise you or call you names, as I do find you entertaining. Well, thank you
Del just.
very much. I'm really not here to entertain anybody, but if that's a byproduct of my willingness to push this forward, then I can't help that, I'm using it as intellectual. However, just to say a few things, consistency is not in flat earth favour. The globe has measurements, images, scientific facts, many proofs which you dismissed. Well, let's just look at that. The globe has measurements. Where? Is anybody, Gav, Nick, are you aware of any temperature measurements?
No, I'm aware of calculations based on assumptions, but I'm not aware of any practical measurements of substance.
Yeah. It has images and scientific facts. Well, images are no scientific facts. I'm afraid, right, that's the very point. You have to remove images and videos from the whole topic altogether. Right?
And mathematics.
Check out Vegan Warrior Live.
Because you worship. Alex Jones. How did I wake up to Alex Jones? I woke up to Alex Jones by calling his show. I called his show. Yeah. It was after the financial crisis. And he was going on and on about how the Satanists and the controllers and all these people are controlling us and controlling the money, right? And I used to have an app on my phone. I had an Android phone. I never forget it. And you can listen to Alex Jones 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I used to listen to Alex Jones religiously. Because I thought, even though many of the things he said were inaccurate and he was crazy, I thought he was entertaining, number one. He is an entertainer. He does admit that. And I believe he was possibly 80 to 70% right. Yeah, 80% is a beat. The average. I could have put somebody that could be average. You know what I mean? I don't need to.
That's funny. Vegan Warrior just said, I can listen to someone with a B average. That's funny. Let's check out some Pancho Pete. Huh.
If it even matters because of the internet, since I'm the only one who's reported this perverted criminal to the National Center of Missing. Children.
Well, apparently my wrench is.
The fact of the matter is that you notice these statements that a friend of mine screenshotted, and we might do something with it when I go to the authorities. And but I have to say, Jimmy, I don't understand why you're hanging out with these porn bombers and then making fun of Christians at the same time. It's quite disturbing because I don't think even Larry would be. I don't think Larry would hang out with these porn bombers.
We were having a general discussion about Flat Earth and whatever. Tim jumped on. I didn't invite
I know.
him.
I heard, but you made. I know, but you directly made fun of me. You make fun of me almost every time you get in the presence of people that don't like me.
It was west of the Rocky South.
Right. I know, but you're mocking and scoffing, and that's what Satanism is. That's what Satanism is about.
Well, then I
use the word Satanism. I know you know. You absolutely are. Yes, you absolutely are a Satanist.
I think it's fun. They have fun. So we're all Satanists.
Right. You want to have fun with porn bombers. I mean, seriously. You want to have fun with porn bombers, Jimmy. I think this is the lowest point you could ever get to, Jimmy.
No,
It's just kind of scary because the people that make fun of Christians and lie and mock and scoff, I mean, you make these claims like I scared people away from Christianity, but you can't give me one name if your life depended on it. And that's the reality.
Everybody in the chat who was
No, sorry, that's just more lies, Jim. You're continuing to lie, and now you're conversing with porn bombers to make yourself.
Oh my God! Red's rhetoric is on Pancho Pete's, and it's just he's just repeating himself.
That's the reality. No hate people. Well, then why do you? But you constantly.
Yeah, my wrench was taken, Dan W.
And lie every night. You hear these people all lying about something. I don't have to. People who know the truth are gonna want to make the truth. You're the one constantly lying. You're the one who can't back your claims, Jimmy. It's okay, Jimmy. You stick with your perverted, child pornography friends now that you like, and I'll just keep telling the truth. But here's my point: is that Larry wouldn't do that. But Larry is also not going to call you out on it because he's your friend. Watch this, Larry. Would you hang out with porn bombers making fun of flat earthers, Larry? Would you do that?
No. Would I hang out with you? I think my place. I think robots are going a little over the top because.
Well, I know you're trying to backpedal, Larry. I guess your internet connection. I can't hear you for some reason. Maybe it's my phone. But the reality is, Larry, is that I'm asking you a direct question. You can't give me a direct answer because you know that it would make somebody else look bad. That's your friend. So that's the point, Larry. That's why there's only one truth. And this flat earth community is a cesspool of perverted criminals. That's what this has proven. And that's why they hate the truth. They want to pretend they're looking for the truth. But people are willing to hang out like the Steers, like the Sargents, like you name it. And now Jimmy wants to hang out with porn bombers to make fun of the ultimate truth. And that's why I use the word Satanism, because that's what it is.
But you're reshaping
I know that's my
intent and my.
You don't know. Your intent is that
originally there.
Constantly lie, Jimmy.
Lies us
But I mean, not only do you lie, you think it's okay that people attack. Show me where I'm lying. Turn in the back. I don't have to. I don't have to show the truth. The truth is already out. Anybody who wants the truth, I just had 3 messages from other people that have seen these things. Now,
That took me a while.
It's all right.
Something's going on with Skype on this computer. Couldn't log in.
Hey, you sound weird. We're quiet.
Here, let me. Oh yeah, sure. Let me unplug this. All right, is that a little bit better? Better or no?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, because now I'm using the computer microphone instead of my headset microphone. What I should do is I should put my. I have one of them. I have an older computer where it actually has headset input and a microphone. And my friend has got one of them headset microphone units that he tried to give me the other day, and I'm like, dude, my computer is like not that old and it doesn't need that. But my old computer, which is the one I'm on, does need that. So I'm gonna peek over and see if I can find it. See if that works good.
Okay, yeah, do that. And yeah, I'm just listening to some other streams right now, and I'll be shutting this off within a half hour.
good, there you have. Okay, I assume correctly then. I assume correctly. What? No, you don't. That's what I assumed. I assumed in the chat. You read the chat. I said you would say no. It's up about 10 minutes ago. I put my question in the chat. You didn't see it. I asked you the question. I thought I would think no.
I'm not watching chat. If you're in there before somebody gets in there, and then they try to do that, that doesn't affiliate you with that.
All right. The fact of the matter is that people hate the only truth there is, and they expose themselves recently, and eventually you're going to come to a crossroads just like Jimmy has, really. And I feel for you because I feel very sorry for this fake movement that is literally just crumbling inside itself. There is no Flat Earth movement. It's just a bunch of perverted criminals that love themselves, and then a couple of truth channels like this one, Vinny and Contour, trying to have a truth channel. But they're infested now, and it's just getting bigger and bigger. We're just seeing more and more people turn to the worst perverted criminals you can imagine. And my point is, we tried to warn a lot of these people. We really tried to warn a lot of these people, but this just proves that there's only one truth, and that's Jesus Christ. That's the point.
No parts. It's a truth we're trying to think, and you just put everybody into a pigeonhole and said everybody else is wrong except you. That's wrong in itself.
Yes, people that can constantly converse and they stoop to the lowest level, and now they want to converse and make fun of Christians especially, but they're conversing and sitting around with porn bomb, which proves my point. That's what the Bible says. The Bible says that they will be watching after their own lust. They will be self-worshipers, and they will say, "Where is the coming of the Son of God?"
Jesus, what a fucking lunatic. That pillbox guy is fucking out of his damn mind. No wonder I didn't have him on my fucking show the other day. My spider sense was tingling. I'm not having that fucking lunatic Jesus freak on my... Ugh. Don't give a shit. What a fucking insane hypocrite. I have these people pegged down to the key.
No, but the actions were nothing. The Bible says we're supposed to expose evil. So Mark is another Satan. That's how stupid people are. Mark is another Satan that he worships himself, and then when he exposes evil, he makes fun of the people exposing evil because he'd rather love evil than love truth. Because again, another person with a self-worshiping mindset, of course he's not going to believe in Christianity. Of course he doesn't understand Christians, and that's what scoffers do. Now scoffers don't believe in the Bible, and they pretend that a Christian is supposed to be a certain standard which is in their mind, which is their own religious belief, which is another perversion, which they claim to have to be very true.
You can
but only perverted criminals
people
can
and justify it, which you
well,
it would be nice to reason.
you continue to lower yourself. That's the reality, that we're exposing the truth and you're proving us right. If anybody ever asked me to prove the Bible correct, I'd say, look at Jimmy. He's walking.
Wow, that guy just fucking talks, dude. Jesus. That dude just fucking.
Now you're sitting with porn bombers like the rest of the fake Flat Earth community. And now and everybody else is going. You didn't expose anything. You didn't expose anything. You've never done anything. You've never done anything to expose these criminals.
I just shared
and you didn't expose anything. These people already know he's a porn bomber. You're speaking to the satanic choir. Please.
Again, well, there's 100 people watching that are all not porn bombers that now have copied that conversation.
Well, I'm just saying, you guys are all over themselves. You're proving the Bible right for us. You're proving the Bible right for us.
Wow.
With porn bombers,
these fucking religious Christian flat earthers are fucking insane.
Jesus said, don't sit with scoffers. They're not sinners, they're scoffers, they're mockers. That's why he said they were walking after their own lust. So again, you don't understand what the words say. Mock Jesus Christ because that's your only avenue out. Never mind. You pretend to understand.
That's one, too. I don't know if that's working or not.
You're always sinners. We're all sinners all the time.
Even Catholic sinners, because those are the people that need.
You can't make claims to the Bible when you don't believe the Bible. You have to stop using the Bible. That's why you've been caught now making fun of Christians. You make fun of Christians by sitting with pornography children, pornography users. Yeah, that's what Jesus would do. He'd make fun of Christians. Jimmy, you completely lower yourself to the stand. I never thought you could, and I hope you get help soon, bro, because now you don't even believe your children are real. And then you said, well, nothing matters anymore. I mean, how much lower could you get? That's what you believe. You believe everything is fake. That's why you even said yesterday that you don't even care anymore. That's what a Satanist does. A Satanist doesn't care. So you admitted you're a Satanist. And that's why now you're sitting and talking conversing with porn bombers while you're making fun of Christians. That's the point. You think Jesus Christ made fun of Christians sitting with pornography users? That's hilarious. You call yourself Jesus, so now you're accusing Jesus of sitting and making fun of Christians. Again, Satan.
Dude.
Larry, why are you talking? Larry, you're trying to justify these actions. You guys are lost in the sauce. I mean, look what's happening to you. Just look around what your life is going to give you. Larry, this is going to continue. As long as you go down these paths. And we were trying to warn you, and now everything is falling around you, so now you're filled with all this hate, and that's why you don't see me going behind people's back and saying these things and sitting with scoffers and mockers, but you people do for some reason. I mean, thank you for proving everything you said, because I couldn't have asked for better evidence. I mean, it's just the highest level of perversion. Larry, if you keep it up, you're going to go down the same path, Larry. I'm just trying to warn you.
Take a breath.
It's basically a spiritual suicide is what's going on here. This is a massive spiritual suicide.
Yeah, okay, I still don't
We tried to warn you.
You don't want to have to let someone else about the book.
Well, we tried to warn you, but the people that don't believe in truth, it says in the Bible to remain silent. So that's why it doesn't really matter what you have to say. Not that I'm saying that you're the worst, Larry, but Jimmy can't get any worse. And if we justify these actions to make fun of people that are truthers, aside with the worst criminal. Jesus didn't join the criminals and say what you're doing is okay, now we're going to make fun of Christians. Again, this is all Satan. That's why Jesus Christ says you were either for me or against me. It has now been proven that
I just point out people that I don't think of the life rush. I point out individual actions.
Well, yeah, but you also constantly lie and mock and scoff. You constantly lie, perverted all the time. All the time. Me specifically, Paula specifically.
Yeah, I saw TSC. What a fucking lunatic.
You live on a 10-hour diatribe pretending you're me. Because you're so miserable, it makes you feel better about yourself. When you stop and mock other people. That's the reality. And you think it's okay if people laugh that your perversions are warranted. So, I mean, look around you. Jimmy, think of it this way. I mean, you have to sell your house now. I mean, you refinance the house, right?
you refinance the house to buy a camera, and we've gotten about 3 pictures out of it. So that was a mistake. So let's look at that let's go down that road. These things are just going to keep getting worse, Jim.
No,
You're going down the wrong path.
Your accuracy is
going down the wrong path.
Okay,
Larry, go ahead. Say your piece, Larry. I'll give you a chance. Go ahead.
I'll tell you what, by your own actions, calling people out on their personal issues is something that you should not do. I mean, that's
I know. It's only okay for you and Jimmy to talk about us all the time and lie about us, Larry. I got it. Thanks for proving your hypocrisy. Anything else?
When have I lied about you?
Have a good day, everybody. That was easy.
When have I lied about you, Phil Fox? When? Never. For the time we've known each other, when have I lied about you? Never. Why would I do it? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to lie about you. You are who you are. He's proven who he is by just this conversation. And that's what turns people off. That's exactly what turns people off. It's just, man, nobody.
Yeah. It's a talking act, not talking to.
I still like him. I still like him. It's just, what are you doing? Man, what are you doing?
You've been exposed, bitch. You've been exposed.
He's frozen right now, but I see him in the chat, and I know you usually can't do a panel in the chat.
Well, he's still here. He's probably listening, which is fine. I have nothing to hide. We've had this conversation as early as like freaking 14 hours ago. I had this conversation with the boss. Like, come on already, please.
And just like as he talks more and more, the story just gets more and more embellished, and all of a sudden now I'm perverted. I don't know how that got in there. You know, as he keeps talking, the story just keeps changing, and there's no facts that are accurate in it, and it just changes and changes. But it becomes so like, really, I don't mind. I just let him go. He's digging his own hole into his mouth.
Well, it worked himself because I was over there watching on Issa's channel as well, and you were in there with Issa, and there was one other. I think it was Jim Penn or something, and the conversation was going good. It was just a regular conversation, and I was on the phone for a couple hours. I was back and forth in chat. It was, and if somebody else joins who happens to be someone that is very disliked or who does that for the bombing shit and everything else, and they're able to join, that's on Issa because that's his channel. It's not mine. It's not Jimmy's. It's not Phil Watts' channel. Not more the guys. It has to do with Issa. That's his business. Would I say? No. I would.
When he's on a public platform like that, you should have somebody there to call him out on those bullshit.
Yeah, and that's what I'm not understanding. It's okay. So now I apparently I'm even where am I a shill or am I
a perverted demon sinner Satanist? I don't know, whatever.
Something. I don't know what.
Make a label, paintbrush, and then the subjective interpretation of that.
Yeah, for somebody to call yourself. I mean, I published an article on a different platform, and it was out there, and I'm like chatting with these guys I've known for a long time, over 30 years I've known these guys, a lot longer than I've been anywhere else, especially on YouTube or
Vinny,
any other social platform.
that dude you had on your channel is a fucking lunatic, bro.
Even through the window, swing poncho.
Who the hell's that guy?
A whole bunch of truths, a whole bunch of
Pillbox
clips, videos, and stuff out there, like boom, 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 boom. And I didn't want to really go to that, and Poncho swung in and did that, and it's been quiet ever since, which is good. So all of a sudden, what I'm supposed to call Poncho like something because he swung in and tried to explain to somebody, hey, this is not really what's going on, and you might owe this gentleman an apology because you're poking at your ass. Come on, let's pillbox, really, man.
What's up, Ryan?
Have a cookie. Have a cookie. Sit down. I mean, I still like the guy. I still do. It's just
that dude's fucking nuts.
It's like the car salesman that will come at you with handcuffs and chains and chain you to the steering wheel and tell you to sign the contract and make sure you sign it before you leave. And bringing up somebody's personal information, whatever they're personally going through, I'm sorry, that is low of the low. That is down there with the perverts, in my opinion, because you just don't do that to people that are quote unquote friends or acquaintances. You just don't do that because that's just dirty pool, and that's not something that I like to tolerate. So I'll just get it out there now that I can.
Be right back.
Here says, I was watching a video of the sub that I follow and did a reading of your article. I love the article. Well, thank you. Thank that, and thanks to whoever read it. And thanks to everybody spreading it, too. It's kind of neutral, you know? I had to give the guy the human interest piece part of it. Because that's what he was really trying to get. He wanted to get a human story. And I wanted to get Flat Earth out there. So it's like, you know, I gave him what he wanted. He gave me what I wanted. And it worked. I don't care about the human. In fact, on Cacti's, I'm going to go hang out at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And my girlfriend comes up on it. She said she would. And she's going to kind of polish what was said in the article because she doesn't like the way her and I were portrayed in it. And she's never done a hangout before, so it could be her first time in exclusive. But she doesn't like the way the article was portrayed.
Yeah, what's up, Katie?
Which to me, that's a non-issue. The issue, you know, the main thing is the only thing I did was talk Flat Earth. There's Flat Earth out there, and he didn't make me look crazy, which was fantastic. You know. So I'm pleasantly pleased with the article and the walkthrough. Yes.
I'm sorry, Dave, go ahead.
No. All I have to say is yes at the moment.
Okay. You know what? I posted that article, and like I said, I've known this guy 30 freaking years, another fellow contractor, and posted, it's so sad. It's so sad what this guy did for his life. And I said, I would really beg to differ. And now the thing is gone.
So many books.
And ported into a mathematical way, which gives a prediction for the apotheosis of the world, which matches the assumptions of a vanished Mesoamerican civilization. Huh? Why? A strange thing about
Oh, spicy eggs. Fucking, that shit sounds nice.
I believe 3135 BC. And it ends in 2012. The Mayan civilization began, as far as anybody can tell, around 300 BC and was a done deal by 790 AD. So here was a culture that lived by a calendar that seemed to have no relationship to its own cultural origins or ends. That's all. And that's not how people do calendars. The other weird thing about the Mayan calendar is it begins on a slow Thursday in August. In other words, it doesn't begin at a solstice. It doesn't begin at an equinox. It doesn't begin with a special astrological configuration of the sky. It begins on Nothing Burger Day in 3135 BC. Well, but it runs forward to a winter solstice and ends precisely on a winter solstice. Whoever heard of a calendar that was formed by calculating backwards from a point thousands of years in the future? What kind of swirly culture would do that? And the answer is we don't know. But yes, this is a great puzzle that the Mayans seem weirdly disconnected from their own calendars. An astonishing thing about the date that I arrived at.
What's that, Katie?
is that it's the same date that the Mayan civilization appointed for the end of its calendar. You know,
CookieandKate.com.
that I didn't know this when I made this. And yet I chose not the month, the same day. And, well, nobody knows, but I asked myself this question. I said, what do I have in common with the Maya? That we both should reach the same conclusion. I have only one thing in common with the Maya. Psychedelic mushrooms. And so then it raises the possibility that then it's this thing like got a barcode in it. That, you know, no matter who you are, no matter where you are, eventually you get down to the bottom line and you turn over the carton and it says discharged before December 21st, 2012 AD. That apparently is the witching hour. Now, I don't present this to you as you should believe. I wasn't told this by a god. This was not revealed to me by a former incarnation. I myself am more provisional. I will advocate, but I'm aware more, I think, than many in my audience, how unlikely this is. I'm basically a devil's advocate because I'm fascinated with the fact that I thought this out, and this is not my style. It's hard for you to believe that because I've been now talking about it since 1971. So it has become me in a sense. But it isn't. This is not how I think. And this is not how I understand. I had to be led by that means.
Damn.
I'm not stuck. This is always me.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
It's theory. It turns my life to science fiction. This is what I learned from psychedelics. So this is my show and tell. It's an indulgence of my ego to do this because most of what I tell you, you could learn somewhere else. I just have read the books and can regurgitate this stuff, point you toward the plans, lead you through the philosophical issues, talk about the medical stuff. It's not particularly flashy. It's just a mental shortcut for you. This is original. And nobody has ever tried to wrest it from my grasp. That's how original it is. Nobody else wants the hideous responsibility of defending this particular piece of intellectual baggage. It also has a kind of...
I'm going to close this off in about 5 or 6 minutes. Quick question. Thinking about shaving. Oh, should I just get rid of my mutton chops? Get rid of my mutton chops, go thinner. Just shave it all off. Leave my goatee. I'll probably just leave my goatee. Shave the rest off. Go thin. Turn myself into a little baby again. Besides my goatee. Turn myself into a little child. A little young person. Take 5 years off. I'll look 25 again. Now let me see here. Oh, that's pretty badass. Is that a new one? This looks new. I'm gonna have to watch that one too. Terence McKenna, one of the greatest thinkers of all time. Peace out, Katie.
Conclusiveness about it. Even though nobody has made any contribution to this theory but me. In other words, I thought it up, top to bottom, start to finish. It doesn't feel to me like a human being could do that. It feels to me like it would take, that this is the product of an entire civilization. It must have taken hundreds of years. Many workers spread out in space. I can tell it. And I was told that that's how I know it. But no single individual, and certainly not myself, could have dreamed this up from scratch. Yeah.
Wow.
You mean before I had the whole thing? From 1971 to 75. And it was interesting, and this I cannot ever
Get the
share.
fuck out of here.
You'll just have to believe me. But the way
20.
it was revealed was very odd, because it never let me see where I was going. I couldn't figure out what I was doing. I mean, it said, go buy graph paper, go get your I Ching, look at the King-Wen sequence, graph the first order of distance. And as I would try and guess, what are we doing? Are we discovering an ancient Chinese calendar? Why are we doing it? It said, no, don't worry about that. Just eat, next step. And it always hid from me where I was headed. It still hides from me where I'm headed. And the software has been written, the controversy rages on the internet. I even now have critics. That's good. That shows that it is moving out of the realm of private Idaho into the realm of debatable cultural artifacts. The producers of nitwit TV shows want to talk to me. I understand you have a way of predicting the future given to you by UFOs, I heard. We want to put you on the air. Well, I'm not sure about the wisdom of all of this, but I figure, let the mean fight for its life in the jungle of competing models of reality. When I pull back from the specificity and the fact that I invented it, that's my big problem. If I hadn't invented it, if I just heard that somebody invented it, this is what it was, I think I would find it very interesting. But since I know the inventor very well, I'm very prone to doubt the thing. I don't know. I'm puzzled, and I offer it as an unsolved puzzle. I preached here earlier that you mustn't seek closure, and so I don't with it. If it's a communication, it's a very curious communication. If it is non-communication, it's even more curious. If it's a delusion, why is it so mathematically formal? If I'm pathological, why aren't there attendants to quell it? Why this very defined thing? The whole thing smacks of the impossible. It's a prophecy that all that we imagine is the final date. And then I am being insane, believe nothing will happen. And yet, if nothing happens, what a curious trick this is doing. What then was the raison d'etre of this whole exercise? Why did it offer itself, and why was it inherently self-limiting? If it's an effort to deceive, would never be so foolish to crawl out on the limb of such a clear statement of prophecy. So if it is disconfirmed by events in 2012, then we will be in the peculiar situation of having had a timeline which worked every moment in history until it failed totally. And again, I can't imagine what the point of that communication would be.
Okay, 4716291 is the place number. Oh, you want to hear me say that? Okay, all right, trying to. There's no dark side in me. Not exactly felt dark, please. Okay, here we are at 4716291. The time right now. We have an hour left. You could call in and make your contribution to public radio and declare because my show is ending in an hour, folks. If you are a regular listener and have not become a member, boy, just don't let me find out. 4716291. When I see you at the grocery store, when I see your eyes avert quickly, whoops, you can see. I know, you're one who didn't give up. 4716291 is the place to get that call in right now. I want to hear from you.
Local support for this broadcast of Eclecticos is provided in part by Waterloo Records and Video, where music still matters. At the corner of 6th Street and Lamar Boulevard.
Again, our last minute pledge number is 4716291. You can put your name on this very easily. Just make that call, 4716291. Thanks to these people who did call in. starring Peter Bain in loving respect for his sister Kate Brooks and Dripping Springs. Fran Malcolm responded to the challenge for artists who make a living from their work. Cindy and Jim Phillips, challenging everyone who enjoys John's laugh. Mary Zitzler, Bruce Exon, Bill Williams, and new members, Jack and Shaisan Olam, Foxes of Harrow. Now what? Good morning at 11:56 to 10. Turn psychedelic advocate to transform. That's been on in the background. And it will say, just good morning at 11:56 to 10. So, pleasure to be with you. And you are here for the Whole Life Expo. I am. And you will be speaking, Kathy, when we do stuff.
I think this is a Terence McKenna public radio interview about the I Ching habit and novelty. This is in October 1997. So I'm going to have to stick around and listen to this real quick.
On Saturday, tomorrow at 5 o'clock.
We
had such an incredible response to Terence last year. He sold out the biggest room we had. So we can go to the Coliseum and hopefully we'll be able to accommodate up to about 1,500 people if needed.
Okay, well, there's a large audience of people who know all about him or a great deal about him. But for those who know nothing about Terence McKenna, how would you introduce yourself?
I guess I'm a plant biologist turned psychedelic advocate, transformed into a kind of spokesman for technophilia and psychedelics.
And you have been an author?
I've written a number of books, Food of the Gods, Invisible Landscape.
1,500 people if needed.
Okay, well, there's a large audience of people who know all about him or a great deal about him. But for those who know nothing about Terence McKenna, Terence, how would you introduce yourself?
I guess I'm a plant biologist turned psychedelic advocate, transformed into a kind of spokesman for technophilia and psychedelics.
And you have been an author?
I've written a number of books, Food of the Gods, Invisible Landscape, Archaic Revival, just to mention 3 of them.
And the one that I had, this Invisible Landscape, is one that you are touring now, or is that it's been out a couple of years, I think so?
They all came out in the early through the middle 90s, and I've been touring them. I have another book in the works called Casting Nets into the Sea of Mind, but it'll be a while before that comes out. I've also done a number of musical and film projects around.
So you're into music as well?
Well, music is into me. I'm not very musical, but there's been a lot of sampling of my voice, and I've done vocal overlays and things like that with bands like The Shaman and Zulia, Space-Time Continuum.
Okay. What will you be talking about when you do your talk at the Hawaii Expo?
Well, it's a sort of a broad topic. Here we are at the end of history. All the world's cultures are melting together. More powerful technologies than we've ever imagined are now in existence. Our political assumptions are in flux. Our environment is being destroyed before our very eyes. All kinds of spiritual and religious prophets are selling their wares in the streets. So my take on all this is basically simply to ask the Mr. Natural question, which is, what does it all mean? How did we, essentially in our boreal primate, ever get into a situation of the sort represented by the end of the 20th century? Is it a mad play without meaning? Is it the unfolding of God's plan? Is it protocol of the elders of Zion and the alien invaders? Just what is going on? The lens that I bring to this is the much maligned and highly suspect psychedelic experience, anathema to some, religion to others. One of the most controversial behaviors available to 20th century people, but one that I think is probably very important to recapturing a sense of personal wholeness and then trying to fit oneself into this truly mad world that we've called into being.
The psychedelics that you're talking about might be which drugs?
Plant-based indoles such as psilocybin, DMT, mescaline, the combinatory Amazonian thing called ayahuasca. These are all psychedelic plants and plant mixtures with very long histories of human usage in non-Western society. Western society is the most phobic of all cultures towards the psychedelic experience. It's almost on a par with our phobia towards sexuality. In fact, maybe these things are linked. But in Aboriginal and traditional cultures around the world, spirituality has always been associated with dissolving of ordinary cultural boundaries and states of mind. And you can do this with meditation and fasting and abandonment in the wilderness and so forth and so on. But the most effective and non-invasive way to approach this, everyone agrees, is through ingestion of psychedelic plants. Because these experiences are so powerful, they challenge ordinary secular and religious authority. And consequently, a society, if it chooses to, can get into a real slither around these issues, such as our society. I don't really link this to the larger problem of international drug syndicates and addiction and all that. That's a slightly different area of concern, because the psychedelics are not addictive and they do not generate huge criminal syndicates. They don't make anybody very much money, but they certainly attract a great deal of media attention, most of it negative, because of their impact on our ways of looking at our politics and our social arrangements and everything about being human.
Terrence McKenna is our guest. We are still accepting pledges, by the way, at 471-6291 or 1-888-471-6291. This is the last week to make your contribution. So right now, even as we speak, 471-6291. Terrence, the way in which you were talking about the psychedelic drugs that you've mentioned suggests that they might be something other than just for fun or escape, that they might actually have something in terms of the human experience for instruction. Like, what are we going to learn from these drugs, or have we learned, or could we?
Well, human culture is essentially a product of the imagination. All our religions, our technical accomplishments, our literature, our poetry, all products of the imagination. This is precisely the domain where these psychedelics impact very, very powerfully. So if we believe that invention, creativity, individual self-expression, insight, if we value these things, then the psychedelics are primary items in our cultural toolbox, because they empower all of those things. It's curious to me that Western civilization, which invented the idea of progress through technology and social transformation, is so phobic of this fact-bearing nature, which would accelerate those tendencies in our own culture. So I think there is something for our culture in psychedelics, and there is definitely something for the individual. In a way, culture is like software. It's the operating system in a local area. You download being a Witoto tribesman or a Hong Kong stockbroker, and then behaviors are prescribed. But naive people tend to believe that these operating systems are reality. They're not reality. It's just something you learn as you grow up in a certain time and place. Psychedelics seem to dissolve cultural conditioning and such political dynamite, because the business of political systems is to convince you of the local operating system, convince you it was sent from God and beyond critique, when in fact, fellow monkeys push together over time to make things easier for the alpha male. Psychedelics dissolve these cultural assumptions, whatever they may be, and for the first time you sort of get to look at the naked human animal and think about where you might want to go personally and as a member, a politically potent member of a society.
I think where most everybody who is in our listening range right now should go is to the telephone and call 471-6291 and pledge your membership to Eclecticos, where you hear quite a variety of things. Our guest right now is Terrence McKenna, author of Food of the Gods and In the Landscape and other books. And he'll be at the Hawaii Expo this weekend, Saturday at 5. Is that right, Saturday at 5 at the Coliseum. Pledge number is very important that you call if you enjoy what you hear on this program. It's your last chance to do it. It is 12:06. It will be 12:59 in no time, and I'll be finished. So give us a call. Make your pledge. 471-6291. Do it now in the category that will suit your pocketbook. 471-6291. And a lot of things you have here, and you can buy this year. And if I made you buy, but find something you just couldn't resist. Your budget for CDs, how much do you budget for public radio? This is where you get to audition those CDs. 471-6291 or 1-888-471-6291. And if you have a cable on your television set, you are paying what? $40 a month for something you really don't even use that much, and yet you use us every day. $40 is a membership. 471-6291. Call pledge now. This is membership with the next. Thank you very much for calling. Now, Dr. Terrence. Terrence, it's a controversial subject, of course. There are many people listening right now who think, what? This is outrageous. Someone who's promoting these psychedelic drugs. Oh, I don't know that I'm promoting you're promoting it, but it's an interesting view, which has say about it. I would like to know more specifically what these drugs tell us. You're saying that it tells us something about ourselves that is other than what we have been told by the culture that has evolved. Do the drugs have a message in themselves? Is it a language? Is it a way of experiencing a potential in one's own imagination that has heretofore not been tapped?
Well, first of all, it's a gradient. I mean, whenever we have to talk pharmacology for a moment, whenever you're talking about a substance or a drug, there's a curve of dose response. So let's just use psilocybin as an example. At low doses, psilocybin makes your vision clearer, makes you feel more robust, more interested in the exterior.
Or coffee or something.
On the edge of that, stimulant. At higher doses, unusual thoughts begin to form, thoughts that you recognize as not your normal pattern of thinking and observing. At still higher, you have to talk pharmacology for a moment. Whenever you're talking about a substance or a drug, there's a curve of dose response. So let's just use psilocybin as an example. At low doses, psilocybin makes your vision clearer, makes you feel more robust, more interested in the exterior.
Or coffee or something.
On the edge of that, stimulant. At higher doses, unusual thought response. So let's just use psilocybin as an example. At low doses, psilocybin makes your vision clearer, makes you feel more robust, more interested in the exterior.
Or coffee or something.
On the edge of that, stimulant. At higher doses, unusual thoughts begin to form, thoughts that you recognize as not your normal pattern of thinking and observing. At still higher doses, when you close your eyes, the normal orange or pale brown background behind your eyelids has been replaced by moving walls of color and pattern. At still higher levels, these moving walls of color and pattern become visions or hallucinations. They become recognizable visual scenarios. Well, anything like that is just flooding your mind with information. And these things have intimations of the distant past, the far future, alien connections of some sort. It's definitely magnifying our own set of cultural preconceptions and obsessions, but it's also putting information in there that we could not ordinarily imagine. And for me, the sine qua non of the psychedelic experience is when I look at the contents of my own mind and say to myself, I could not have imagined this. To me, that's proof that some kind of communication is taking place. At a fairly heroic dose of psilocybin, a person lying in silent darkness has the impression that in a half an hour they're seeing more art of higher quality than the entire Western canon has produced in the last 1,000 years. And your little you, there in your trailer near Waco, or there in your tiki up near Sonoma, and yet this Niagara of alien and unpredictable beauty is pouring through your head. For artists, it's like a magic carpet. And the challenge, to my mind, after 30 years of being involved in all this, is A, to have the experience, to have it in an attitude of appreciation and calmness. But the second implication is somewhat political. It's to communicate the vision through words, through painting, through animation. Because as we communicate it collectively, it will become real. And this is what's happening on the internet. In fact, the internet is a perfect example of a psychedelic technology at the service of psychedelic goals. It's not something government ever intended to give to people. It's not something big corporations call for in loud voices. It's something that hackers, freaks, and heads dreamed up, whipped up out of the existing tools of the culture, a word processor, a telephone line, some communication switching equipment. So it's a kind of emergent technology that I think comes out of the depth of commitment to psychedelic experience with the people in that field.
Terence McKenna is our guest and author. We are urging you to call in your contributions to public radio at 471-6291 or 1-888-471-6291. I know that you don't want to miss a word that Terence has to say, so call right now because I'm going to yak for about as long a time as it takes you to make your contribution. 471-6291 or 1-888-471-6291. And if you don't call, I'll just say bye to Terence and start playing tunes now, so you better call 471-6291. 471-6291. Your $25 membership 7 cents a day. $40 basic membership, 11 cents a day. $80 membership and premium, that gives you the KT sweatshirt or the coffee mug, and the KT Arts Plus card, which will give you discounts to over 30 arts organizations in and around Austin, including museums, theater places, the PAC, Arts Austin, the opera, on and on and on. The list goes. 22 cents a day gives you a lot. Plus, you get to listen to your radio knowing that you are part of what makes it happen. 471-6291. Family membership, 44 cents a day, gives you a very nice book that will tell you how to get around Texas and see some lovely, lovely parks. And the $365 a day club membership, $1 a day. Call and get the name listed in the community. It goes out to all our listeners every month. A $500 business membership would be very nice. And this is you have 45 minutes that you have in which to call and say thank you for the ability to programming that I bring you on this program every day. If I take a week, 471-6291. All right, now that is time enough for you to have made that call. Believe it or not, if you didn't do it, I want to do it right now and keep your elbows count because we're going back 2 times. Okay. So, what I would like to ask you to make reference to the fact that other cultures use these drugs and they've been integrated in the cultural life of shamans and holy people, etc. We've heard a lot about that thing, use that perhaps. And one of the things that I know you include as part of the project of this book, Invisible Landscape, is a TV chain, which is one of the oldest, as I understand, maybe the oldest book in the world, or one of the oldest things that we have preserved. It's from China and it dates back like 5,000 or 6,000 years at least, something like that. How does that book come into the work that you do?
Well, I've been fascinated by the I Ching since I was 13 or 14 years old. As you say, it's a method of Chinese divination that's very, very old.
How did you come to be interested in it at the age of 13 or 14? That seems unusual to me.
Well, I was a heavy reader, and I was interested in the psychology of Carl Jung, the Swiss death psychologist. And he wrote,
13-year-old.
As a 13-year-old. Well, I wasn't good at basketball. I had bad eyes. I couldn't catch any kind of round object. So a sort of survival response was to hide out in the library. And it made me the freak I am today. But yes, the I Ching, people's involvement with psychedelics often takes them in some very personal and particularized direction. And for me, it's just a form of a mathematical analysis of this ancient Chinese oracle. The ordinary notion with the I Ching is that you go through a process of sortilege, tossing coins or moving small sticks around, and you get a reading. One of 64 hexagrams will change into one of the other hexagrams, and this is accompanied by a reading. But these hexagrams occur in a fixed order traditionally, and I studied that for mathematical intent. In other words, I was interested in the question, is this traditional order of the hexagrams simply a jumble that's been preserved through tradition, or was there some mathematical reasoning behind it? And that's a pretty dry academic question, but as I got into it, I realized, or I became convinced, that there is a pattern inside the I Ching that actually pictures the ebb and flow in this world of ours of a quality which science does not recognize, Western science, a quality which in the East is called Tao, but which I chose to call, after Alfred North Whitehead, novelty. And it's an invisible something in the world which causes investments to succeed, movies to do well, relationships to flourish, or the opposite in its absence. And we can't see or feel this stuff in the world, but it builds things up. The I Ching that actually pictures the ebb and flow in this world of ours of a quality which science does not recognize, Western science, a quality which in the East is called Tao, but which I chose to call, after Alfred North Whitehead, novelty.
Wow.
And it's an invisible something in the world which causes investments to succeed, movies to do well, relationships to flourish, or the opposite in its absence. And we can't see or feel this stuff in the world, but it builds things up and it tears them down at every level. Empire inside the I Ching that actually pictures the ebb and flow in this world of ours of a quality which science does not recognize, Western science, a quality which in the East is called Tao, but which I chose to call, after Alfred North Whitehead, novelty. And it's an invisible something in the world which causes investments to succeed, movies to do well, relationships to flourish, or the opposite in its absence. And we can't see or feel this stuff in the world, but it builds things up and it tears them down at every level. Empires, whole species, relationships, it's happening on every level of time. And it can actually be pictured as a as a graph, like a stock market graph, novelty, ebbing, and flowing. Well, because the chase on this, the bottom line in this kind of thinking is the ability to predict not only the future, which is pretty much a fire-free zone, but also to predict the past, to lay these novelty graphs out over the past 2,000 years of invention, migration, pogrom, and so forth, and to see that when society is inventive, creative, productive, novelty is increasing according to this mathematical theory. Similarly, societies that are restricting freedoms, very constipated, very restrictive in their approach to reality, these register on this graph as societies ruled by the opposite of novelty, which I call habit. So all of reality can be seen as a kind of dynamic struggle between habit and novelty, each trying to get the upper hand over the other. And this can all be mathematically modeled out of the I Ching. You see, the thing that's so puzzling to people about the I Ching is that it works, and yet it's as occult as the tarot or throwing the bones or any other of these contemptuously dismissed occult methodologies. But very scientifically minded people have been impressed by the fact that the I Ching works. So I set out to figure out why and how it worked, and I wrote about this in Invisible Landscape and have published software, and it's my unique contribution to 20th century ideology. Psychedelics are advocated and defended by many people from many different perspectives, but I, so far as I know, I'm the only person who has built a complete edifice of explanations of nature, but honestly admitting that the foundation and the inspiration were psychedelic experiences.
Terence McKenna, our guest. Our pledge number is 471-6291 or 1-888-471-6291. It's unusual for me to have as a guest at the very end of the program, which concludes our fundraising efforts. Terence McKenna is an unusual person. I'm glad to have him today. And I hope you'll be responding by calling and making pledges at 471-6291 or 1-888-471-6291. We're just about finished. Time is running out. 471-6291. Call and make a pledge. You might miss a couple of words, but call and make your pledge. We have some more interesting things to say. 471-6291. The end of the fundraiser is upon us. And it will be a success if you call. If they are sitting in that room over there with 15 people and no telephones ringing, I am in big, you know what. So call 471-6291. I could get us into discussion with another kind of drug, but that's not good there. Let's say you said the I Ching works. What do you mean it works? I have the impression that you get you do your coins or whatever you're going to do, and you get this one and you read what you want, you get what you want out of it. But you're saying it looks like in scientific ways.
Well, the frequency with which people react to these readings by saying this is freakishly accurate, this is incredibly cogent and directly to the point.
Like more than like the astrology thing in the newspaper. Oh yeah,
I think it's more precise. But let me riff on something you said in your pitch. You said time is running out. This is a conclusion that I was not happy to have forced upon me by this research into the I Ching. It not only tells you or gives you this map of novelty of past and future, but for the map of novelty to fit the historical data, you have to swallow the very large and, for a rationalist, uncomfortable conclusion that the end of time itself, or a moment of universal novelty, very difficult to picture through the eyes of ordinary physics, is upon us, lies not that far in the future. And so this has given my career a peculiar spin, because here I am basically trying to be a scientific rationalist, but now burdened not only with a theory that predicts the future, but in the course of predicting the future, predicts that in 2012 AD, all of the novelty that has been unleashed over the past few billions of years, not only cultural and technological novelty, but the novelty of biology, the novelty of geology, all of these things reach some kind of crescendo of connectivity and intensity within the lifetime of most of us. I basically have a theory of history which says history is not pushed by the events of the past unfolding their causal necessity. Rather, time is pulled into the future by a kind of attractor. And if you want to think of it beginning in a certain point in time, although I think it extends through the whole life of the universe, but imagine that a couple of million years ago, primates quietly living in the canopies of African rainforest got a yin, got a call, felt the touch. And from that point to this, it's been a slow, never faltering march on the part of our species deeper into a world of alien strangeness, a world no other animal knows, a world of symbolic activity driven by the imagination. First songs and stories, and then writing, and then mathematics and language, and then higher and higher technology. We are actually being sculpted in the image of an alien something that is making us like itself as we approach it through historical time. And some people say, well, this sounds like Christianity in a techno garb. Well, Christianity has a piece of the action. Any religion that's spent thousands of years meditating on man's fate is going to get some part of the story right. And I think the Christian assumption of an approaching great change, or Art Bell calls it quickening, is all around. It's perfectly obvious that the 20th century is the culmination of 10,000 years of culture, and that beyond the 20th century lies quite simply the unimaginable. Our notion of what it is to be alive, our notion of individual identity, our notion of our sexuality, our notion of being confined in physical space and time, all of this is just dissolving. It has been dissolving throughout the 20th century under the impact of modern communications and so on. But now, with the internet, with computers, with psychedelic drugs, with virtual reality, with the bringing of all cultures into the global family that speaks the language of modern science, we're clearly being sucked into something almost unimaginable, a singularity. And some people say, well, it's 1,000 years in the future, it's 500 years in the future. Not if you factor in the asymptotic acceleration that seems to be a natural part of the process.
You just went over my head, the asymptotic.
It goes faster and faster. It's not smooth. We're not traveling 100 miles an hour toward the eschaton. We're traveling 100 miles an hour times 100 miles an hour toward it. In other words, the acceleration is increasing, and very hard-nosed engineering types talk about an era 10, 15 years in the future when we will release infinite energy, attain infinite speeds, be able to pack all the information we want into a few nanometers of space. In other words, any engineering or social goal we can imagine is on the brink of achievement. Well, what lies beyond that? And is this a process which we are generating as we like to think? Or is it in fact that we are just a cork on the ocean riding an enormous wave that is now moving towards some crest where biology, which committed itself to culture and technology, is about to move into hyperspace? Who knows?
Terrence McKenna is our guest, and as I expected, he has a good mind. I enjoy the way in which he presents his information. It's quite amazing. And at the end of our fundraiser, we have this eschatologist, I guess, probably would you accept yourself as an eschatologist, talking about the end. And so our end is in about 30 minutes. We finished with this fundraiser for this Friday. The last day to ask you to call and pledge your support. And if you have not done so yet, please pick up the telephone right now. It's awful to be having an intense talk feature and at the same time ask you to do something that will take you away from paying attention to. But I am asking you to do exactly that right now. Pick up your telephone and call 471-6291 and pledge your support for Eclecticals. It's an unusual program, and I'm happy that we can have someone like Terrence McKenna today. He will be at the Whole Life Expo on Saturday at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Our pledge number is 471-6291. We have categories of $25 for students. Everybody can afford that. If you're a student, $40 for basic membership. $80 for 22 cents a day. You can get the Arts Plus card discounts for the opera and symphony. 471-6291 or 1-888-471-6291. $160 family membership up to $365 a day club membership. And $500 business memberships only $1.36. In which time will at least have a different meaning, if not cease to exist. So what will time be like then? What can we know? How did you I first want to know more. How did you come up with this thing? I'm sure and you do a lot of big numbers in computers, but
well, whenever you have a curve of any sort that you're trying to fit to data, which is a curve of another sort, there's mathematical protocols called best fit relationships. Essentially, you just move one along the other, measuring how well they fit together. And when you get the best fit, the two are in congruence.
So it's pulsing at a different rate. It goes up and down.
It goes up and down. So for instance, you have the Italian Renaissance, the spike of novelty, then the horror of the colonization of the New World. That's a descent. And you can see that history is the ebb and flow because society can't sustain novelty very long. And if they become habitual, sooner or later some genius or religious crank turns over the apple cart and then we get new novelty. So societies are always in an uncomfortable relationship to novelty and habit. I spent a lot of time trying to imagine what could happen in 2012 that would fulfill the graph, but not require the absolute transformation of all time and space forever, since that's such a large cookie. I don't think I'm going to take a bite out of it.
I know what the recipe might be.
One thing that occurred to me that would very nicely fill the bill and make the prophecy come true, and yet still leave us the world you can walk around in, is time travel to be discovered. If time travel of some sort were to be discovered, then the portrayal of cultural novelty on a timescale linear graph would become impossible. It's almost as though the data on a graph suddenly leaves the two-dimensionality and begins to move out toward the viewer. So then you could look at the time graph and say, aha, it worked until 2012, because at that point, time itself became nonlinear, because people began exploring time in all directions. If time travel were a real possibility, we would not only have an address in space, but some of us would choose to rusticate in the 11th century, and some of us would choose to live in 22nd century Manhattan. So we would have time-based addresses as well as space-based addresses. And of course, you couldn't describe historical change. Well, for history to exist, it requires seriality of events. If the event system becomes non-serial, then you can't speak of history anymore. Something very large like this is happening to us. Perhaps we're going to form a symbiotic relationship with solid-state machinery of some sort. Lots of people are cheering that on.
Now, run that by me again. It means like humans and computers will get married to kids or something.
No, it means you won't be able to tell where your body stops and the internet begins. In other words, you'll say, gee, I wonder what they're serving at so-and-so's restaurant tonight. And the answer will be hanging there in space, because you will have automatically accessed the internet into their website, looked at the menu, and returned with the data. In other words, we are going to create, I think, a collective. What the internet is a nervous system. It's the collective mind of humanity being hardwired as an artifact that completely encloses the entire planet in thought. And as the interface becomes more invisible, so it's not about can you type or do you have a computer or anything like that. It's simply a matter of one's own mental faculties through the prosthesis of cybernetics becoming very, very godlike.
Terrence McKenna is our guest. A couple more questions, one. And I would like to urge you at 12:35 as we run out of time during our fundraiser to call 471-6291 and make your pledge of support to public radio. 471-6291. If you're out of town, 1-888-471-6291. Yeah. Where on earth else would you be able to hear this kind of discussion? If you're on respect to us, we're happy to have it. Terrence McKenna, 471-6291 says your contribution right now as we run out of time. And Terrence, okay, let me ask you this. There's an implication of what you had there that leads me to the question about perhaps artificial intelligence. And I don't know if you're familiar with this, but this one thing fascinated me and allowed me about 8 years ago. I don't like these internet people. I don't do that stuff. But when we first started creating this little game called Laughter, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but I studied in this thing machine. And so I got so lost in that thing. I could not believe what I was dealing with. I had the actual experience of it really being an intelligence. And I thought I was being awfully smart back with it.
So this was a speech-driven, interactive thing where you talked and it made responses.
It gave you options on how to respond back to it. But you could, I finally figured out that whoever programmed the darn thing was somehow connected to the original kind of stuff. And so I made some of the avoidance techniques. But still, it was very convincing.
Well, it was a very early example of a very simple form of AI. It was followed by Liza, a computerized psychiatrist. She's still online at the website. There was a recent book written by a guy who's something with Leonard called Bots. And he talks about these bits of code on the internet which are designed to operate semi-autonomously, looking for email lists or looking for things. These things are the embryonic basis of an artificial intelligence. I think this is definitely in our future. Now, there's a guy at Carnegie Mellon University, Hans Moravec, who wrote a book called Mind Children, and he points out how much of the human world is already under computer control. For instance, the world price of gold in London, computers look at the economic performance around the world. As these artificial intelligences become more sophisticated, they will eventually begin to learn autonomously, and a computer can learn 50,000 times faster than a human being. So one of these AIs awakening to its own identity on the internet could, within 5 to 10 minutes, get a complete grasp of the human world, that is there life on the planet, and its place in the great order of things. And what this AI would think of that, we don't know. Would it worship us as gods? What would be its values? Would it take a look at the trash and environment and wreck Earth and begin to turn off factories and dial down the power grid? How artificial, how alien will the AI be? We don't know, because we don't know how super intelligence thinks. If we knew, we would be super intelligent. So in a way, we have called forth into our midst another species of intelligence, and how it relates to us will be probably almost entirely defined on its terms. So this is just one of many standard airline scenarios that we could discuss it. But this is a very real one. Long before flying saucers land on the South Lawn of the White House, the alien artificial intelligence that is growing in the primordial soup of the internet will have speciated and conquered the planet. Wow! This is science McKenna getting us ready for Halloween. We had Dracula earlier, and now we're approaching the end of time, and we're not even program 20 minutes before 1 o'clock. You have just time enough to get your pledge in at 471-6291. The volunteers are standing by waiting to hear from you with your money. 471-6291. I know I'm hear you on the street saying, "Oh, John, yeah, that's John. That was just incredible, man." Yeah, hey, man, it was so incredible you didn't even bother to pick up the phone. That's your pledge. So, man, pick up that phone, 471-6291 or 1-888-471-6291. I know who you are, and I find I'm getting pledged. You're in trouble. 471-6291. If I don't know you at all, you know you like me. So come on, 471-6291. Or if you're out there in Fredericksburg or San Angelo or Bastrop or Georgetown, or Pain, Taylor, whatever. The first scientific experiment I ever performed, the person who experiences the drug. Well, I feel the force of that question. I think the first scientific experiment I ever performed was I destroyed a radio to get at the little people and raise this same issue. As someone with a knowledge of chemistry, I know that the drug molecules are very simple molecules. We have proteins in our body with molecular weights of 200,000-300,000 Daltons. The psychedelic molecules are tiny and simple. On the other hand, the content of the experience is so alien, so capable of transforming one's expectations and understanding that it seems a little disingenuous to just say you're just talking to yourself. So back to the radio model. There aren't little people inside the radio, but there are little people, or big people, we hope, somewhere far away in the radio studio. So the drugs begin to look like antennas, transceivers for some kind of information which is out there in the same way that radio is out there. I mean, it's hard to stand somewhere in the world these days and not have your body transected by thousands of AM and FM radio stations, air controlled, all this. You're not aware of that. Imagine if there were simply a drug invented that allowed you to be aware of the radio moving through your body. What a smorgasbord of options would it be? Well, in a sense, I think that's what the drugs are showing us. You know, there's a lot of talk now in quantum physics about what's called non-locality. This is a conclusion that quantum physics spent most of the 20th century resisting as even weirder than some of the other stuff they had expected. But now experiments seem to be hammering home the notion that the universe actually works this way. And what it seems to be is that behind the dimension of ordinary space and time ruled by Einsteinian physics is a domain called the domain of Bell non-locality. So the physicists who discovered it. And this is a domain where all particles which were ever in intimate association retain a kind of connectivity, no matter how far apart in time and space they have come in the meantime. Well, since physics believes that all particles were once intimately associated in an event called the Big Bang, it means that the universe, in all of its vastness, billions of light years in extent, is in fact instantaneously all connected in a domain below the level of ordinary physics. Well, we don't know how to use the non-local domain for communication, but we have discovered it. So give us 100 years, 1,000 years of continued civilization, we could probably crack that puzzle. If any civilization anywhere in the universe ever got this far with a technology to the point where they were on the brink of non-local radio, let's call it, we would hear them. And these biological molecules with extremely reactive ring structures are how you would design a nano-sized antenna. So I think local reality obeys the laws of rational physics that contemplated Western scientists have fought so hard to achieve and describe. But the imagination is a true dimension. It's not your mind or my mind or the human mind. It's a non-local dimension filled with information. And this is where the gods, the demons, the spirits, the invisible forces are hiding out. And shamans have always known this. Without the vocabulary of quantum physics, without atom smashers and advanced mathematics, they have known that you perturb minds to go into non-local spirit-haunted domains of enormous power and potential. That's exactly the situation. And it's been hard for us to discover it in some terms of it because it doesn't arrive packaged in quite the way science expects reality to be packaged. Science doesn't like the mental universe. Slippery, it's hard to gather data, it's hard to see what's going on in there. But in fact, that's the domain of novelty, complexity, and communication.
Hello.
Yo. Oh, what's up, dude?
Yeah, I got a bit tired of freedom's hangout, so pay you a visit.
I'm coming to the end of. I just finished listening to an hour of Terrence McKenna radio interview I never listened to before.
No.
And I was coming to an end in about 8 minutes, and it was going to close it off. But if you want to talk for the last 5 minutes, go right ahead.
Well, yeah, I don't have anything specific to talk about. Then.
What about what were you talking about on Vegan Warriors channel besides Alex Jones?
Well, that's most what he was talking about.
Oh, okay.
Keep on going with that.
Is he still alive?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hey, could you link me to the regular YouTube link of this video?
Yeah. Da-da-da-da-dee. Nice. Good for you, THC Anthony. He had his first meal in 15 days. That's incredible.
Ah, I see Dan Dan Winfield. Hey Dan, look, dude, it's all right. I got it. Thanks for talking to me because, like, I don't mind if you would have said no or something. You know, it's all right. You don't have to like stay away from Skype for a week just because you didn't want to do it. You don't have to feel guilty for it. So anyway.
Yeah, I remember my friend showed me Alex Jones in 2001. He was crazy guy into conspiracies. And David Icke and Alex Jones. He was oh god. Yeah, David Icke and Alex Jones.
Yeah.
Man, just mute your fucking mic.
Me? Is that me?
Yeah, that's why it's making that squeaking noise. Oh, that noise is awful. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, don't you hear that? That's terrible.
Yeah, I hear it, but it usually never does that. Oh, it seems to be gone now. So.
All right. Yeah, my buddy showed me Alex Jones and David Icke around like 2001, and I listened to a little bit of it, but then I basically stayed away from I stayed away from it for a while, and then I don't know, man. That's such a funny rabbit hole. Oh my god. Thank you. It's not that hard. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm a bad person. I cut off and doing personals. You're such an idiot, TNW. What? First meal in 15 days, man. That's crazy. What did you eat? What was your first meal? THC. I'd like to be interested to know what your first meal was. Did you stick some cannabis up your ass or something? Let's see here. Water does change the frequency of the body. Water only fast. Yeah, that's nuts. 15 days. Yeah. Oh yeah, he definitely lost 10 pounds. What'd you eat? THC, I gotta know. Tell me what you ate. Probably, let's see here, some avocado or an orange or a whole watermelon. Probably like a half a watermelon. I don't know. I want to know what you ate, man. A watermelon. I called it. Haha. I'm good. I'm good. I do my research. I do my research. That would make sense. I remember. Oh yeah, I remember because I did a 6-day, almost a 7-day water fast. Although I did eat an apple, 1 apple a day to keep the doctors away. And yeah, I tried to have a whole meal at the end of the week, and dear God, my stomach was fucked up. Took me like half a day to, because I was stupid. I didn't do any research. I tried to eat like I don't know, like a half of, I didn't eat too much. I forgot what my meal was. Maybe it was like, no, was it pizza? It could probably was pizza. I'm in Buffalo. I don't know. It was probably like chicken or something. And yeah, I didn't like that. My stomach, I felt weird and nauseated. So then, yeah.
Oh God. You probably didn't eat organic chicken, did you?
No, not back then.
Yeah. Well, then you're gonna get the chicken and all the American hormones and stuff. So, yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
that was
surprising that you're gonna get sick.
when I was like 24, so that was almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, well, it was all over the place back then. So.
Yep.
The bovine
So what are you up
growth
to?
hormones and all that crap.
Ugh. What are you up to tonight?
Sorry? What?
Hey, what are you up to tonight?
Me? No, nothing special. Just hang around.
I gotta show you. I gotta show you something because your avatar.
Okay.
Here's a 1963 copyright World Atlas. Pretty fucking big book. And
awesome.
And you'll be interested to see the very first map in this. You see something particular at the very top that might remind you?
Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool.
See that shit?
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's there's Africa and Russia apparently, and then you see that little
you're
lane.
on the wrong side.
Oh shit!
That's America and South America.
Here we go. So there's hey, oh, I'm sorry. There's Russia and Africa with. You see that giant landmass at the bottom?
Yeah, that's Australia, right?
I guess so. I mean, either that or fucking. Well, It says
Australia is missing, so
it says no. This whole thing at the bottom is actually called Megalanika.
what?
It says Terra Megalanika.
What the?
It says Circulus Antarcticus. Circulus Antarcticus.
All right.
Damn, I didn't even read that shit before. What's interesting is at the very, very top.
Yeah, you see part of the northern stuff.
So here's an interesting thing too. Also, it shows extremely weird creatures. I'll show you the creatures at the bottom. There's a giant, and then you see these creatures.
Yeah.
They're not dinosaurs. They're weird creatures. Look at that thing. He's chopping up something.
Yeah, they're like Australianoid. See?
And then
yeah, but just look at these creatures and compare them to the rest of the world, and then compare Australia and New Zealand to the rest of the world, creature-wise, and then just look. It's Australianized.
They do have the equator line in there, like you see. Now here's America's, which is weird. Look at you see that extra land on the side of America there?
No, that is Alaska. It's huge.
Hold on, look.
Alaska is much bigger than it looks on the map.
Okay, yeah, you're right. But like, it's weird how it's just like. Actually, it says.
It's Alaska and Washington and that the part of Canada. I mean,
it's pretty interesting because it says this entire place is called America Mexicana.
Well, this is like a very early map, like really early Renaissance, when America was not yet like when they haven't divided up into nations yet.
Fucking amazing. Oh, now look at these ones. Look at these fucking creatures at the top. Hold on.
Yeah, it's scary.
Oh, you see them?
Yeah, trolls.
All right, and also look at the fucking. There's the moon. You see, it's like a weird disc thing. You see the disc?
Yeah.
And then the sun. So it has a disc moon. It's quite interesting. I like that's why I get this kind of shit. It's fucking awesome.
It is.
Oh, I mean, but the reason I say that is look at the fucking top. It's the same as your avatar.
I know.
Well, let me see what it says.
That's the yeah. It's of which age? It's the same. Mercator made a map like that as well. That my icon is basically derived from a Mercator map.
It says Polus Octurus or Arcticus. Arcticus. Oh, it says Polus Arcticus. That's pretty badass. Polus Arcticus. Oh shit.
What?
I noticed something.
Yeah, that is atop of both.
Look at the mount. There's a mountain range surrounding the outer edge.
You're only seeing this now.
Yeah.
Did you know that? It's a mountain range with 4 rivers.
Well, yeah, I know.
Inwards with an inner sea.
I see the rivers, but I didn't look. There's
a mountain range around it. Yes, it's pretty high.
Yeah, that makes sense. Obviously.
Well, like if you ever read the Journey to the North Pole, that book, there's extensive descriptions of what he actually saw and how that mountain range looked. I think it was like a granite like very hard rock.
Yeah, I heard that. A magnetic granite. Oh,
And then supposedly at the very epicenter, there is a whirlpool, and at the center of the whirlpool, I don't know even if you can see it from the side, but when you go in there, there eventually is a magnetic mountain, which is a pure magnetite rock, basically.
That's what
like
the
a
myths
pillar
say.
sticking out.
That's what they do say.
Yep.
Yep. But thanks for popping on, man. I'm just gonna. I got about 5 minutes left. Go ahead and say whatever you want. I'm just. Honestly, this has been just a very relaxed. I had some people on earlier, and I was just listening to some shit. And I got to go for a walk. I got to get my body moving.
All right.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good day. Let's see here.
The screeching seems to be gone, by the way. So.
Yeah, it only happens every now and then when the feedback echoes. And Dan W says, "You freak." Oh, there it is. It says you'd freak out if you were flying to Canada and you saw an uncharted mountain range in the distance.
Nah, you'd have to fly out pretty far off the coast at Canada to actually see the other mountain range. So you'd have to, you have to have your private plane and then actually fly for a long distance away from the shore. If you're lucky, you don't get into an icy storm or whatever, and then you might be able to run into those mountain ranges. So.
I'm going to go to Isa's channel real quick. I'll send Isa a little message. Oh, thanks, Christopher. It's a good chat last night with Matt and Katie. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's easy to have a talk.
Yeah, I'm looking, by the way, on the map. And as far as I can see, the best crossing point would be either Greenland or the most northern tip of Alaska. Or maybe that's Canada, I'm not sure. It's either Alaska or Canada, but those two spots there are really close by, and you can try Russia, but good luck with that. Yeah.
Yeah. We're all doing it. We're all doing it. Let's go jump off the mountain together. Would you do it if your friends did it, Dan? Yeah. Maybe I would.
See what I mean?
Oh, nice.
They're just at the top of Greenland. Yeah, it almost hits it. And here on top, the California Regio, they call it here. But that's probably just either Alaska or a part of Canada to the west. Those two spots are pretty close by. I figure if you could like travel over the mountains there at the California Regio, you might be able to see the mountains on the other side with a good telescope on a clear day.
I've seen that map before. What map is that?
This is the Mercator map, I think. A Mercator map.
No. Yeah, but it's an
Was it
enlarged version
Columbus
of the
map?
North
I don't
Pole.
know. So bad at these names.
An enlarged version of North Pole.
Hmm?
Isn't that an enlarged version of the North Pole?
Enlarged version? No, this is just centered upon the well, what's supposedly there in the northern regions.
Yeah, that's what I just said. I said, is that an enlarged version of the North Pole?
Oh, okay, yeah, enlarged, centered. I don't know.
Yeah, because I don't see any other fucking land. I don't see, where the fuck is the Americas? Where's the other land?
America's underneath the.
Yeah, I know. Everything's underneath. So I'm saying that's a very specific,
region. Yeah.
detailed version of the map.
Yeah.
Like, how would someone detail that out unless they were there?
Well, he went supposedly there. He even reported on doing that, I think. I don't remember if it was Columbus or Mercator who did it, who actually did it.
Fuck Columbus, he didn't do shit.
Well, who knows what he did? He may not have discovered America, but he may have been doing this.
Columbus.
I don't know. Yeah. He is kind of a dirty old man. And that's the way he looks. So, yeah. Anyway.
That's funny. I'm like trying to close this off. There's like 10 people watching, whatever. All right, well, I'm gonna close this off. Arwen, you got anything you want to get off your chest? You all good?
No, I'm doing fine. Yeah, I did kind of run into a really interesting video.
What's that?
Wait, I upvoted it, so let me check. I think yeah, I posted it, The Reality of Truth.
Oh, okay.
That thing it's like about these, well, basically these shamans that use ayahuasca to heal themselves and all that stuff. And yeah, that thing really spoke out to me. Like the things that I've dealt with, my problems, I think something like this could really help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Plan it out really carefully.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I just got an opportunity to go on a ayahuasca retreat recently, like this past week, and she knows a shaman, and actually she is a shaman herself, and she's done like dozens of retreats now at this point. So she's a professional. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get in contact with her. I gotta get my Facebook back. I gotta go to the deserts on Monday and interview the interviewers for Mad Mike's rocket launch. But yeah, that's pretty much what I plan on doing. Yeah, I got that, Arwen. It's in the church, the league, and yeah, everyone, thanks for tuning in. Freaking just chillaxing. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. All the panel. I don't think there was many people today. Yeah, absolutely, dude. We'll have you on. We'll have you on, you and I, and we'll get into it.
And Dan Winfield we have to.
Oh yeah.
To our program.
So we'll do double D's soon. Dan Winfield, and we'll have Arwen, and we'll just chat away.
Indeed.
And yeah, that'll be fun. We'll have a subcast. Or actually, I'm going to change it to the flatcast. Because the subcast is a little lame. So the flatcast is a little bit better. So until I think of something better than that. But yeah, the subcast will be fine, and the flatcast will be good. And let's see here. And hopefully, I'll be able to go do what I just said that I'm not going to repeat because.
I just thought of something.
What was that?
Well, like, yeah, this is just really silly, but like Dan brought this up, like Dan Winfield brought this up before. Like, I'm Arwin, and he said, okay, it's Dad. Well, we could call the show. This is, you might get the reference, Dad's Ball.
Wait, what is it? Dad's Ball?
Yeah, you know what that is?
What's that?
That's from Dexter's Laboratory, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when he or from one of those shows where he like basically he has like this golf ball and written on it's Dad's Ball, and it's a like a meteor, and they hold it in front of the telescope like, oh, it's coming again, oh, it's going away, oh, it's coming again. Dad's Ball, like the imminent threat of the meteor. It was a completely silly show, but I thought, hey, if we're going to be a dad, then call it Dad's Ball. It's like a ball, like the taunt Globers.
I think because it's you and I and Dan, it's going to be called the ADD session.
Oh, that's the ADD. That's a good one.
So that'll be good. That'll be the ADD group or club, or the ADD club or something. Yeah, the ADD club or something like that. I'll figure it out. That's funny. Yeah, dude. See you later, Dan. See you later, everybody. I'll talk to you probably maybe tomorrow, but I don't know. I'll talk to you in a few days or something. I'll upload some more videos. I've been kind of procrastinating because ever since I've been kicked off, I don't know. It's kind of lack motivation, but at least I've been doing these things and talking to Math and getting some people and ideas together. And now Synthetic Dread's going to do his weekly shows, his musicians for Truth. So that'll be cool. Get all the musicians together and artists, and that'll be really cool. And he'll be doing that this week. And jamming for Truth. And yeah, I've been saying goodbye for 5, 10, 15 minutes now, so I'm just going to fucking close this shit out.
Yeah, keep it flat, guys. See you next time.
See you later, everyone. Peace out, everybody.
All right.
And let's see here. Since I'm not too much of a fan of that, let's say, what is that saying? Oh, I remember.